Hello there, and welcome to the Sleepy Science channel. Tonight we'll be exploring the gentle world of rain, that soothing sound that has lulled countless souls to sleep since the beginning of time. Above us, clouds gather and release their precious cargo. Droplets fall, streams form, and the earth drinks deeply. Rain is both simple and profound, something we experience every day, yet never truly stops amazing us. If you enjoy these quiet explorations, I invite you to like and subscribe or share a simple thought down in the comments. It helps others find their way here too, one sleepy soul at a time. But for now, all you need to do is rest, settle in, and allow the calm sound of falling rain to carry you. Let's begin. The birth of a raindrop. Every raindrop begins its journey high in the atmosphere. When you hear rain tapping against your window, you are listening to water that may have traveled hundreds or even thousands of miles before reaching you. Each drop started as water vapor, invisible molecules rising from oceans, lakes, rivers, and even the breath of plants. As this vapor climbs higher into the cooler air, it begins to condense around tiny particles, specks of dust, salt from sea spray, or pollen grains become the seeds around which water molecules gather. These microscopic droplets are incredibly small at first, perhaps 1/100th of a millimeter across. They float effortlessly in the air, suspended by updrafts and gentle breezes. Inside a cloud, millions upon millions of these droplets drift together, creating the white or gray masses we see from below. But these tiny droplets are too light to fall. They need to grow. Within the cloud, droplets collide and merge. One droplet captures another, growing slightly larger. That larger droplet then captures more, slowly accumulating mass. This process continues, droplet by droplet, collision by collision, until finally a drop becomes heavy enough to overcome the air's resistance. When it reaches about 0.5 millimeter in diameter, gravity takes over. The drop begins to fall, leaving the cloud behind and starting its descent to Earth. As it falls, the drop may pass through different layers of air. If the air below is dry, some drops evaporate before ever reaching the ground. These are called virga, curtains of rain that fall from clouds but disappear into the thirsty atmosphere. But when conditions are right, when the air is moist enough, the drop survives its journey. It accelerates at first, then reaches a steady speed as air resistance balances gravity's pull. The shape of a falling raindrop is not what most people imagine. We often picture raindrops as tear-shaped, pointed at the top and round at the bottom. But in reality, small raindrops are nearly perfect spheres. Larger drops, those approaching 5 millimeters across, become flattened on the bottom by air resistance. They look more like hamburger buns than teardrops. The largest drops become unstable and break apart into smaller droplets before reaching the ground. The speed at which rain falls depends on the size of the drops. Small drizzle drops fall slowly, perhaps 2 meters per second. Medium-sized drops fall at around 6 or 7 meters per second. The largest drops, just before they break apart, can reach speeds of 9 meters per second. But no raindrop ever falls faster than this. The air itself becomes a cushion, preventing the drop from accelerating further. Every raindrop that reaches Earth has completed an extraordinary journey, from vapor rising from the sea, to condensation high in a cloud, to the long fall back to the surface. And when it lands, whether on soil, water, or the roof above your head, its journey is not over. The cycle begins again. Water seeps into the ground, or flows into streams. It evaporates back into the air. It rises, condenses, and falls once more. This endless cycle has been turning for billions of years. The sound of rain. The sound of rain is one of the most soothing in nature. There is something deeply calming about the steady patter of drops against a roof or window. Scientists have studied why this sound affects us so profoundly. Part of the answer lies in the sound itself. Rain creates what is called pink noise, a type of sound that has equal energy in every octave. Unlike white noise, which can sound harsh, pink noise is balanced and pleasing to the human ear. When rain falls, each drop creates a tiny impact. The sound depends on what the drop hits. Rain on leaves produces a soft rustling whisper. Rain on water creates gentle plops and ripples. Rain on metal roofs produces a louder, more rhythmic drumming. Rain on windows taps with a crystalline clarity. Together, these sounds blend into a complex symphony that varies constantly, yet maintains a soothing consistency. The human brain responds to rain sounds in remarkable ways. Studies using brain imaging have shown that listening to rain can reduce activity in the parts of the brain associated with stress and anxiety. At the same time, it increases activity in areas linked to relaxation and meditation. The steady, predictable pattern of rain helps quiet racing thoughts and creates a sense of safety and comfort. For thousands of years, humans have sought shelter from rain. Our ancestors huddled in caves or beneath overhangs, listening to storms pass overhead. The sound of rain came to be associated with safety, with being protected and secure, while nature unleashed its power outside. This ancient association remains with us. Even today, the sound of rain against our homes triggers that same sense of security. We are inside, warm and dry, while the world outside is washed clean. Rain also masks other sounds. In a modern world filled with sudden noises, alarms, traffic, and voices, rain provides a gentle acoustic blanket. It covers up the jarring sounds that might startle us awake or keep us alert. The steady pattern of rainfall allows our minds to relax, no longer on guard for unexpected noises. This masking effect is one reason why rain sounds are so effective for sleep. The rhythm of rain is naturally variable, yet somehow predictable. It is not perfectly regular like a metronome, which can become monotonous or even irritating, nor is it random and chaotic. Rain falls in patterns that change subtly over time. Sometimes the tempo quickens as the storm intensifies. Sometimes it slows to a gentle patter. This gentle variation keeps the sound interesting without being stimulating. It occupies just enough of our attention to quiet other thoughts, but not so much that it keeps us awake. Different types of rain create different soundscapes. A light drizzle produces a soft whisper, barely audible, like a secret being shared with the earth. A steady, moderate rain creates a fuller sound, a consistent rhythm that fills the air. Heavy rain becomes a roar, a powerful rushing that speaks of nature's strength. And then there are thunderstorms, where rain is punctuated by the rumble of thunder and the flash of lightning, dramatic and awe-inspiring. Even the smell that accompanies rain contributes to its calming effect. That fresh, earthy scent we notice when rain begins is called petrichor. It comes from oils released by plants during dry periods, combined with a compound called geosmin, produced by soil bacteria. When rain falls, these scents are released into the air. The smell of petrichor is pleasant to most people, triggering positive associations with growth, renewal, and the life-giving properties of rain. Rain through history. Humans have lived with rain since the very beginning. Our relationship with it is complex, filled with both gratitude and fear. In ancient times, rain was often seen as a gift from the gods. Cultures around the world developed rituals and ceremonies to call forth rain during dry periods, or to give thanks when it arrived. Rain meant life. It meant crops would grow, animals would have water, and communities would survive. In Mesopotamia, one of humanity's earliest civilizations, rain was precious and unpredictable. The region depended heavily on the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, but rain also played a crucial role. Too little rain meant drought and famine. Too much could cause devastating floods. The ancient Mesopotamians appealed to various deities for rain, including Adad, the god of storms and rain. Prayers and offerings were made in hopes of securing the right amount of rainfall at the right time. Ancient Egypt had a different relationship with rain. The civilization along the Nile River experienced very little rainfall. Instead, they depended on the annual flooding of the Nile, which brought water and fertile soil to their fields. But rain was not entirely absent from their worldview. In Lower Egypt, particularly in the Delta region, rain fell more frequently. The Egyptians saw rain as unusual and sometimes frightening. Some texts describe rain as a phenomenon of the sea and sky gods, a reminder of the chaos that the gods held in check. In ancient Greece, rain was associated with Zeus, the king of the gods. Zeus was often called the cloud gatherer and the rain bringer. Greek farmers would pray to him for rain to nourish their crops. The Greeks understood the importance of seasonal rains. They knew that rain in autumn prepared the soil for planting, while spring rains helped crops grow strong. Their agricultural calendar was intimately tied to the patterns of rainfall they observed year after year. The ancient Romans inherited many Greek beliefs, but also developed their own understanding of rain. They had several deities associated with rain and weather. Jupiter, the Roman equivalent of Zeus, was the primary rain god, but there were others too, like Tempestas, who governed storms. The Romans were practical people, and they built extensive aqueducts and water management systems, yet they still recognized that rainfall was beyond their control. They held ceremonies called aqualysium during droughts, where priests would pray for rain. In ancient China, rain was deeply connected to the concept of harmony between heaven and earth. The emperor was seen as the intermediary between the celestial and earthly realms. If the emperor ruled wisely and virtuously, the heavens would respond with favorable weather, including timely rains. Drought was sometimes interpreted as a sign of heavenly displeasure. The ancient Chinese developed sophisticated methods for predicting weather patterns. They observed clouds, winds, and animal behavior to forecast rain. Indigenous peoples around the world developed rich traditions related to rain. In many Native American cultures, rain dances and ceremonies were performed to encourage rainfall. These were not simple superstitions, but complex rituals that reinforced community bonds and expressed the people's relationship with the natural world. The dances were often held during specific seasons, when rain was most needed. They involved prayers, songs, and symbolic actions that honored the spirits believed to control the weather. In India, the arrival of the monsoon rains has been celebrated for thousands of years. The monsoon is not just weather, it is a season that defines life across the Indian subcontinent. Ancient Indian texts describe the joy and relief that came with the first monsoon rains after the hot, dry summer. Poets wrote verses praising the rain. Musicians composed ragas, traditional melodies, specifically for the rainy season. Farmers planned their entire year around the monsoon's arrival and departure. The Maya civilization in Central America also had a deep connection to rain. They lived in a region with distinct wet and dry seasons. Rain was essential for growing maize, their staple crop. The Maya had a rain god named Chak, often depicted with reptilian features and carrying an axe that produced thunder and lightning. Temples and pyramids were built in his honor. Ceremonies involving water were common, including rituals where priests would sprinkle water to symbolize rain. In Africa, diverse cultures developed their own rain-related traditions. Among many groups, Rain was associated with ancestors and spirits. Rainmakers held important positions in society. These individuals were believed to have special abilities to influence weather. They would perform rituals during droughts, sometimes involving sacrifices or offerings. Whether these rituals actually brought rain is less important than the social function they served, bringing communities together in times of need and maintaining hope. Aboriginal Australians, living in one of the driest continents on Earth, had profound connections to rain and water. Their oral traditions, passed down through countless generations, include stories about the creation of water sources and the spirits that inhabit them. Rainbow serpent figures prominently in many Aboriginal cultures as a creator deity associated with water, rain, and life. Ceremonies and songs celebrated rain and sought to maintain the balance between land, sky, and water. In medieval Europe, rain took on different meanings depending on the context. For farmers, rain was a blessing that ensured harvests. For travelers, it was an inconvenience or even a danger. Medieval people often saw extreme weather, including heavy rains and floods, as signs from God. They might interpret a drought as punishment for sins or a flood as a test of faith. At the same time, they developed practical knowledge about weather patterns. Farmers learned to read the sky, to predict rain by observing clouds, wind directions, and animal behavior. The Renaissance brought new ways of thinking about rain. As scientific inquiry grew, scholars began to move away from purely religious or mystical explanations. They started to investigate the natural processes behind weather. Leonardo da Vinci, the great Renaissance polymath, studied clouds and rain. He made observations about how water evaporated, formed clouds, and fell back to Earth. Though his understanding was limited by the knowledge of his time, he represented a shift toward empirical observation. By the 17th and 18th centuries, the scientific study of weather began in earnest. Instruments like the barometer and thermometer allowed for more precise measurements. Scientists started to recognize patterns and develop theories about how rain formed. They understood that warm air could hold more moisture than cold air. They began to grasp the concept of the water cycle, though many details remained mysterious. The study of meteorology was born, transforming rain from a divine mystery into a natural phenomenon that could be understood and eventually predicted. The science of rain clouds. Rain begins in clouds, but not all clouds produce rain. Understanding the different types of clouds helps us appreciate how rain forms. Clouds are classified into several main types based on their appearance and the altitude at which they form. The highest clouds are cirrus, wispy and thin, composed of ice crystals. These clouds rarely produce rain because they are too high and too cold. Below them are the middle-level clouds, altostratus and altocumulus, which sometimes bring light rain or drizzle. The clouds most associated with rain are the low-level stratus clouds and the towering cumulonimbus. Stratus clouds form in layers and often cover the entire sky, creating overcast conditions. When these clouds thicken and lower, they can produce steady, light to moderate rain or drizzle. The rain from stratus clouds tends to be gentle and prolonged, the kind that settles in for hours or even days. This is the rain that creates that soothing, continuous sound against the roof. Cumulonimbus clouds are the giants of the sky. These are the clouds of thunderstorms, towering structures that can reach from near the ground to the upper atmosphere. Inside a cumulonimbus cloud, powerful updrafts and downdrafts create turbulent conditions. Water droplets are carried upward, where they freeze into ice particles. These particles collide and merge, growing larger. When they become too heavy for the updrafts to support, they fall. If they melt as they descend through warmer air, they reach the ground as rain. If they remain frozen, they fall as hail. The formation of rain within clouds is a delicate balance of temperature, moisture, and air movement. In warm clouds, those above freezing throughout, rain forms through the collision and coalescence of water droplets. Larger droplets fall faster than smaller ones and collect them along the way, growing steadily. In cold clouds, where temperatures are below freezing, ice crystals form. These crystals grow by collecting water vapor from surrounding droplets, a process called the Bergeron process. When the ice crystals become heavy enough, they fall and melt into raindrops. The amount of rain that falls depends on several factors. The moisture content of the air is crucial. Air masses that have passed over warm oceans carry more moisture than those from dry land. The temperature also matters. Warmer air can hold more water vapor than cooler air. When warm, moist air rises and cools, it releases large amounts of water, leading to heavy rainfall. The speed at which air rises affects rainfall too. Slow, gentle lifting produces steady, light rain. Rapid, vigorous lifting creates intense downpours. Mountains play a significant role in creating rain. When moist air approaches a mountain range, it is forced upward. As it rises, it cools, and its moisture condenses into clouds and rain. This is called orographic precipitation. The windward side of mountains, the side facing the prevailing winds, often receives abundant rainfall. Meanwhile, the leeward side, in the mountain's rain shadow, remains dry. This effect creates dramatic contrasts. One side of a mountain range can be lush and green, while the other is arid and barren. Fronts, the boundaries between different air masses, are another major source of rain. When a warm air mass meets a cold air mass, the lighter warm air rises over the denser cold air. As it rises, it cools, and its moisture condenses, producing rain. A warm front, where warm air advances and slides over retreating cold air, typically brings steady, widespread rain. A cold front, where cold air pushes under warm air and forces it upward rapidly, often produces shorter but more intense rainfall and sometimes thunderstorms. The intensity of rain varies widely. Meteorologists classify rain based on how much falls in a given time. Light rain means less than 2.5 millimeters per hour. It creates a gentle patter and barely dampens the ground. Moderate rain falls at 2.5 to 10 millimeters per hour. It is noticeable and can quickly wet surfaces. Heavy rain exceeds 10 millimeters per hour and can lead to large puddles and poor visibility. Violent rain, over 50 millimeters per hour, is rare and associated with severe thunderstorms. It can cause flash flooding and is often accompanied by strong winds. Rain does not fall uniformly across the earth. Some places receive abundant rainfall throughout the year. Tropical rainforests near the equator can see several meters of rain annually. The town of Mawsynram in India holds the record for the highest average annual rainfall, with over 11 meters. On the other hand, deserts receive very little rain. Some desert regions go years without measurable precipitation. The Atacama Desert in Chile is one of the driest places on Earth, with some weather stations having never recorded rain. The distribution of rainfall also varies with the seasons. Many regions have distinct wet and dry seasons. The tropics experience monsoons, seasonal winds that bring heavy rains for part of the year. Mediterranean climates have wet winters and dry summers. Temperate regions often have more evenly distributed rainfall, though seasonal variations still occur. These patterns of rainfall shape ecosystems, agriculture, and human societies. Understanding when and where rain falls has been essential to human survival throughout history. Rain in different climates. The experience of rain varies dramatically depending on where you are in the world. In tropical regions near the equator, rain is a frequent visitor. The air is warm and humid, and afternoon thunderstorms are common. These storms can be intense, with heavy rain falling in sheets, but they often pass quickly. The rain is warm, and the air afterward feels fresh and alive. Plants respond almost immediately. Leaves glisten, flowers open, and the forest seems to pulse with energy. In temperate regions, rain takes on a different character. It is often gentler, more persistent. A rainy day in a temperate climate might mean grey skies and steady drizzle that lasts from morning until evening. The rain is cooler, sometimes cold, and it encourages people to stay indoors, curled up with a book or a warm drink. The landscape responds more slowly than in the tropics. Grass gradually greens, trees leaf out over weeks, and flowers bloom in succession. In arid and semi-arid regions, rain is precious and celebrated. When clouds gather over a desert, it is an event. The rain that falls may be brief, but it transforms the landscape. Dry riverbeds fill with rushing water. Seeds that have lain dormant in the soil for months or even years suddenly sprout. Within days, the desert can bloom with wildflowers, an explosion of color that lasts only a short time before the heat and dryness return. Desert dwellers have learned to appreciate every drop, knowing that water is life in these harsh environments. In polar regions, rain is rare. Most precipitation falls as snow, but during the brief summer months, when temperatures rise slightly above freezing, rain can occur. This rain is cold, close to freezing, and it falls onto landscapes of ice and rock. The rain in polar regions reminds us that water can exist in different forms, shifting between liquid and solid depending on the temperature. Even in the coldest places, rain makes an occasional appearance. Monsoon regions experience some of the most dramatic seasonal changes in rainfall. For much of the year, the land is dry, but when the monsoon arrives, it brings months of heavy rain. In South Asia, the summer monsoon is eagerly anticipated. The first rains break the oppressive heat of late spring. Streets fill with people celebrating, children play in puddles, and farmers begin planting their crops. The monsoon rains are so essential that their timing and intensity can determine the success or failure of harvests, affecting millions of lives. Coastal regions often experience abundant rainfall. Moist air from the ocean moves inland, bringing frequent rain. Coastal rainforests, like those in the Pacific Northwest of North America, receive enormous amounts of rain. These forests are lush, draped in moss and ferns, with towering trees that thrive in the wet conditions. The constant moisture creates a unique ecosystem, home to species found nowhere else. The rain in these regions is often light and persistent, a fine mist that seems to hang in the air. Islands in the middle of oceans can have complex rainfall patterns. Some islands are extremely wet, especially on their windward sides, where moist ocean air is forced upward by mountains. Other islands, or parts of islands in rain shadows, are much drier. The Hawaiian Islands are a perfect example. The eastern sides receive abundant rain, creating lush rainforests. The western sides are drier, with landscapes that can be almost desert-like. A short drive can take you from one climate to another. High-altitude regions experience rain differently. In mountains, rain can turn to snow even in summer if the elevation is high enough. The rain that falls in mountain valleys is often cold and accompanied by clouds that shroud the peaks. Mountain rain can be sudden and intense. A clear morning can turn into a drenching afternoon storm, then clear again by evening. Hikers and climbers learn to respect mountain weather, knowing that conditions can change rapidly. Urban areas create their own rain patterns. Cities generate heat, creating what is called an urban heat island. The warmth and the abundance of particles in urban air can enhance cloud formation and rainfall. Studies have shown that some cities receive more rainfall than surrounding rural areas. The rain in cities runs off quickly from paved surfaces, unable to soak into the ground. This runoff can lead to flooding, as drainage systems struggle to handle the volume of water. The water cycle. Rain is one part of the vast and continuous water cycle. This cycle has no true beginning or end. Water constantly moves between the Earth's surface and the atmosphere. It evaporates from oceans, lakes, rivers, and soil, rising into the air as invisible water vapor. Plants also release water through a process called transpiration, where moisture evaporates from leaves. Together, evaporation and transpiration are called evapotranspiration, and they are the primary ways water enters the atmosphere. Once in the atmosphere, water vapor rises and cools. As it cools, it condenses into tiny droplets, forming clouds. This condensation is driven by temperature changes. Warm air can hold more moisture than cold air. When warm, moist air rises into cooler parts of the atmosphere, it can no longer hold all its moisture. The excess water vapor condenses onto tiny particles, creating the droplets that make up clouds. Clouds drift with the wind, sometimes traveling thousands of kilometers from where the water originally evaporated. This is how moisture from the ocean can fall as rain far inland. The clouds grow and evolve, sometimes merging with others, sometimes dissipating. When conditions are right, the droplets in the clouds grow large enough to fall as rain. This is precipitation, the return of water from the atmosphere to the Earth's surface. When rain reaches the ground, it follows several paths. Some water flows over the surface, forming streams and rivers that eventually reach the ocean. This is surface runoff. Some water seeps into the soil, where it might be absorbed by plant roots or continued downward into underground aquifers. This is infiltration and percolation. Some water collects in lakes and ponds, where it might remain for a time before evaporating again. And some water soaks into the ground, only to re-emerge as springs, feeding streams and rivers. The water cycle is powered by the sun. Solar energy drives evaporation, lifting water into the atmosphere. The sun's heat also creates temperature differences that drive winds, moving clouds, and moisture around the globe. Without the sun, the water cycle would cease. Water would remain frozen in ice or locked in the oceans. The sun's energy keeps the cycle moving, ensuring that water continuously circulates between the Earth and the sky. The amount of water in the cycle is enormous. The oceans hold about 97% of Earth's water. The remaining 3% is fresh water, and most of that is locked in ice caps and glaciers. Only a tiny fraction, less than 1%, is accessible freshwater in lakes, rivers, and underground. Yet this small amount is enough to sustain life, constantly renewed by the water cycle. The water you drink today might have fallen as rain weeks ago, or it might have been part of the ocean a month ago, or perhaps it was frozen in a glacier centuries ago. The residence time, the average time water spends in each part of the cycle, varies greatly. Water in the atmosphere has a short residence time, only about 9 days. Water in rivers flows quickly to the sea, with residence times of weeks to months. Water in lakes can remain for years or even decades. Groundwater can stay underground for hundreds or thousands of years. Water in glaciers and ice caps can be locked away for hundreds of thousands of years. And water in the deep ocean can circulate for centuries before returning to the surface. Rain and life. Rain is essential for life on Earth. Without it, our planet would be a barren, lifeless rock. Plants depend on rain for water, which they use in photosynthesis to create energy and grow. When rain falls, it seeps into the soil, where plant roots absorb it. This water travels up through the plant, carrying nutrients from the soil. It eventually reaches the leaves, where it plays a crucial role in converting sunlight into food. Without adequate rainfall, plants wither and die. Animals, too, depend on rain. They need water to drink, and many animals also rely on the plants that rain nourishes. In dry regions, animals gather at waterholes filled by rain. During droughts, when rain fails to arrive, animals struggle to find water. Some migrate long distances in search of it. Others have evolved remarkable adaptations to survive with little water. But even these desert specialists need rain eventually. When it comes, it brings life back to the landscape. Rain shapes ecosystems. Rainforests, as their name suggests, exist because of abundant rainfall. These ecosystems are among the most diverse on Earth, home to countless species of plants, animals, fungi, and microorganisms. The constant moisture supports a layered structure, from the forest floor to the canopy high above. Each layer hosts different species, adapted to the specific conditions of light, temperature, and humidity. Remove the rain, and the rainforest would collapse. Grasslands and savannas are shaped by seasonal rainfall. During the wet season, grasses grow tall and green. Herds of grazing animals thrive, and predators follow. When the dry season arrives, the grasses turn brown, and many animals migrate to areas where water is still available. The cycle of wet and dry defines life in these ecosystems. Plants and animals have evolved strategies to cope with both abundance and scarcity. Wetlands are ecosystems created and sustained by water, including rain. Marshes, swamps, and bogs are waterlogged areas where rain and other water sources accumulate. These ecosystems are incredibly productive, supporting a wide variety of life. Birds nest in wetlands, fish and amphibians breed there, and countless invertebrates thrive in the shallow waters. Wetlands also provide important services, filtering pollutants from water and buffering against floods. They are among the most threatened ecosystems, often drained for agriculture or development. Rain influences the timing of biological events, a phenomenon called phenology. Many plants and animals cue their life cycles to rainfall patterns. In tropical regions, some trees shed their leaves during the dry season to conserve water, then leaf out again when the rains return. Flowers bloom after rains, attracting pollinators. Amphibians breed in temporary pools created by rain. Insects emerge in enormous numbers. Birds time their migrations and nesting to coincide with periods of abundant food, which are often linked to rainfall. Humans have always been dependent on rain for agriculture. The earliest farmers, thousands of years ago, relied entirely on rainfall to water their crops. They learned to plant when the rains came and harvest before the dry season. Even today, much of the world's agriculture is rain-fed, meaning it depends on rain rather than irrigation. In these areas, the timing and amount of rainfall can mean the difference between a bountiful harvest and crop failure. Farmers watch the sky anxiously, hoping for rain but not too much. Irrigation has allowed agriculture to expand into drier areas, but it often relies on water that originally fell as rain. Rivers used for irrigation are fed by rain and snowmelt. Groundwater pumped for irrigation was recharged by rain that seeped into the ground, sometimes decades or centuries ago. Even in irrigated agriculture, rain still plays a crucial, if less direct, role. And irrigation is not a perfect solution. Over-extraction of groundwater and diversion of rivers can lead to environmental problems. Rain also affects human health and disease. In some regions, The rainy season brings an increase in waterborne diseases. Standing water from rain provides breeding grounds for mosquitoes, which carry diseases like malaria and dengue fever. Flooding can overwhelm sanitation systems, contaminating water supplies with pathogens. On the other hand, rain can wash away pollutants and allergens from the air, temporarily improving air quality. The relationship between rain and health is complex, with both positive and negative aspects. Culturally, rain has inspired countless works of art, literature, and music. Poets write about rain's melancholy beauty, its ability to wash away the old and bring renewal. Painters capture rainy scenes, the soft light, the reflections on wet streets, the sense of quietness and introspection. Musicians compose pieces that evoke the sound and feeling of rain. From classical to jazz to folk, rain appears as a theme, sometimes gentle and soothing, sometimes stormy and dramatic. It resonates with something deep in the human experience. Rain in literature and art. Rain has been a powerful symbol in human storytelling for as long as stories have been told. In literature, rain often represents change, cleansing, or sorrow. A character standing in the rain might be experiencing a moment of realization or emotional release. Rain can signal a turning point in a narrative, washing away the past and making way for something new. It can also create atmosphere, adding mood to a scene. A dark, rainy night feels foreboding, while a soft spring rain suggests renewal and hope. In ancient literature, rain appears frequently. The Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest known works of literature, features a great flood sent by the gods. Though the story focuses on the flood itself, rain is the mechanism through which it occurs. The biblical story of Noah's Ark similarly involves rain falling for 40 days and 40 nights, flooding the earth. These ancient flood narratives reflect the power and danger of rain in the human imagination, its ability to both give life and take it away. In classical literature, rain often carries symbolic weight. In Greek tragedies, storms and rain can signal divine displeasure or impending doom. The weather mirrors the emotions of characters and the gravity of events. In Roman poetry, rain might represent tears or sorrow, the heavens weeping alongside human suffering. At the same time, rain could symbolize fertility and abundance, the gods blessing the earth with life-giving water. During the Romantic period in the 19th century, poets and writers embraced nature, including rain, as a source of inspiration and emotion. Romantic poets like William Wordsworth wrote about the beauty of rain and the feelings it evoked. Rain was not just weather, but a presence that could stir the soul, connect humans to nature, and inspire deep reflection. The sound of rain, the sight of it falling, the smell of wet earth, all became subjects worthy of attention and praise. In the 20th century, rain continued to feature prominently in literature. Ernest Hemingway used rain to symbolize death and tragedy in his novel, A Farewell to Arms. The rain that falls throughout the book creates a sense of inevitability and loss. T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland begins with the line, "April is the cruelest month," playing with the expectation that spring rain brings renewal. Instead, Eliot suggests that rain forces life and growth when staying dormant would be easier. Rain, in his modernist vision, is complicated and unsettling. In visual art, rain has been depicted in many ways. Japanese woodblock prints often feature rain, with artists like Hiroshige creating famous images of travelers caught in sudden downpours. These prints capture the delicate beauty of rain, the way it blurs the landscape and creates patterns in the air. In Western art, Impressionist painters like Claude Monet painted rainy scenes, fascinated by the effects of light and atmosphere. The soft, diffused light of a rainy day allowed them to explore subtle gradations of color and tone. Rain in film is equally evocative. Directors use rain to create mood and meaning. A romantic scene in the rain can be tender or passionate. A fight scene in a downpour adds drama and intensity. Rain can make a scene feel melancholy, reflective, or ominous. The 1952 film Singin' in the Rain celebrates rain as a source of joy, with Gene Kelly's famous dance number expressing pure exuberance. In contrast, Ridley Scott's Blade Runner uses rain to create a dystopian, noir atmosphere, where constant rain reflects the bleakness of the world. Music inspired by rain spans genres and cultures. Classical composers like Chopin wrote pieces that evoke the sound of raindrops. His Raindrop Prelude is said to have been inspired by the sound of rain on the roof while he was staying in a monastery. In jazz, countless songs reference rain, often as a metaphor for sadness or longing. Blues musicians sing about rainy days and lost love. In popular music, rain appears in songs about heartbreak, nostalgia, and hope. In visual storytelling, rain can be practical as well as symbolic. It provides visual interest, with droplets on windows, puddles reflecting light, and characters battling the elements. It can isolate characters, keeping them indoors and forcing intimacy. It can create obstacles, making travel difficult and adding tension. But beyond these practical uses, rain carries emotional weight. Audiences have been conditioned by centuries of storytelling to associate rain with certain feelings and themes. Photography, too, has embraced rain. Photographers capture raindrops clinging to spider webs, reflections in puddles, people huddled under umbrellas, rain-soaked streets glowing with neon lights. These images can be strikingly beautiful. Finding elegance in something as ordinary as rain, they remind us to look closely, to see the extraordinary in the everyday. Rain transforms familiar scenes, making them fresh and new. The many forms of rain. Not all rain is the same. Meteorologists and everyday observers recognize different types of rain based on how it falls and how it feels. Drizzle is the lightest form, with tiny droplets less than 0.5 millimeter in diameter. Drizzle falls slowly and gently, almost floating in the air. It barely wets the ground at first, though over time it can accumulate. Drizzle often occurs with fog or low stratus clouds. It is the kind of rain that seems to hang in the air, creating a misty, soft world. Light rain is a step up from drizzle. The droplets are larger, and they fall with more purpose. Light rain creates a gentle patter on surfaces. It is steady, but not heavy. You can walk in light rain without getting soaked immediately, though you will certainly get wet if you stay out long. Light rain is often associated with overcast skies and mild conditions. It is the rain that settles in for hours, creating a cozy atmosphere indoors. Moderate rain is more assertive. The droplets are larger still, and they fall faster. Moderate rain makes a noticeable sound. It drums on roofs, splashes in puddles, and creates a steady rhythm. Visibility decreases, and windshield wipers struggle to keep up. If you are caught outside, you will get wet quickly. Moderate rain can last for extended periods, delivering significant amounts of water. It is the kind of rain that soaks into the ground, replenishing soil moisture and filling streams. Heavy rain is intense. Large droplets fall rapidly, driven by strong updrafts in the clouds above. Heavy rain reduces visibility significantly. It creates a roar on roofs and can overwhelm gutters and drainage systems. Streets flood, and travel becomes difficult. Heavy rain is often associated with thunderstorms, though it can also occur with slow-moving weather systems. The force of heavy rain can erode soil and damage fragile plants. It is nature's power on full display. Cloudburst is an informal term for extremely heavy rain that falls suddenly and briefly. A cloudburst can drop an enormous amount of water in minutes. The intensity is startling. One moment the sky might be cloudy but dry, and the next, a deluge is falling. Cloudbursts are often localized, affecting a small area, while nearby regions remain dry. They can cause flash flooding, especially in urban areas or places with poor drainage. Cloudbursts are dramatic and sometimes dangerous, but they pass quickly. Freezing rain is a unique and hazardous type. It occurs when rain falls through a layer of freezing air near the ground. The droplets remain liquid despite being below freezing, a state called supercooled. When these droplets hit a surface, they freeze instantly, coating everything in ice. Freezing rain creates treacherous conditions. Roads become skating rinks, power lines sag under the weight of ice, and tree branches snap. It is beautiful in a way, turning the world into a glittering ice sculpture, but it is also dangerous and damaging. Virga is rain that falls from a cloud, but evaporates before reaching the ground. From a distance, virga looks like dark streaks or curtains hanging below clouds. It is most common in dry climates, where the air below the cloud is so dry that falling raindrops cannot survive the journey. Virga is ephemeral and ghostly, a reminder that not all rain completes its journey. For those hoping for rain in arid regions, virga can be frustrating, a promise of water that never arrives. Convective rain comes from convective clouds, typically cumulonimbus, associated with thunderstorms. This rain is often heavy and intense, but usually brief. It is driven by powerful updrafts that create towering clouds. Convective rain can be accompanied by thunder, lightning, hail, and strong winds. It is common in the afternoons during hot summer days when the sun heats the ground and triggers convection. The rain arrives suddenly, drenches everything, then moves on, often leaving sunshine in its wake. Stratiform rain comes from layered clouds that cover large areas. This rain is typically lighter and more persistent than convective rain. It can last for hours or even days, delivering a steady, soaking rain. Stratiform rain is common in mid-latitude weather systems, where large low-pressure areas bring overcast skies and continuous precipitation. It is the rain of autumn and spring, the rain that settles in and becomes the soundtrack to daily life. Orographic rain occurs when moist air is forced upward by mountains or hills. As the air rises, it cools, and its moisture condenses, producing rain on the windward slopes. The rain can be heavy and persistent, creating lush environments on mountainsides. Meanwhile, the leeward side of the mountain, in the rain shadow, remains dry. Orographic rain explains why some coastal mountains are covered in rainforests, while the interior valleys are dry and barren. Rain and the seasons. The character of rain changes with the seasons. In spring, rain is often gentle and warm, coaxing life from the soil. Spring rain falls on ground that is thawing and softening after winter. Seeds germinate, bulbs send up shoots, and trees leaf out. The rain is welcomed after the cold, dry months. It fills the air with the scent of fresh growth. Spring rain showers can be brief, punctuating sunny days with sudden downpours that pass quickly, leaving rainbows behind. Summer rain varies depending on the climate. In temperate regions, summer rain can come as afternoon thunderstorms. The heat of the day builds up, creating instability in the atmosphere. By mid-afternoon, towering clouds form, and rain falls in heavy bursts, often accompanied by thunder and lightning. These storms cool the air temporarily, providing relief from the heat. In tropical regions, summer is often the wet season, with daily rains that are warm and heavy, drenching everything but quickly evaporating in the humid air. Autumn rain carries a different mood. The days are growing shorter and the air is cooling. Autumn rain can be steady and persistent, a prelude to winter. Leaves fall from trees, and the rain washes them into piles. The landscape takes on muted tones, and the rain adds to the sense of transition. Autumn rain can be melancholy, a reminder that the year is winding down, but it is also necessary, replenishing water supplies after the dry summer months and preparing the ground for winter. Winter rain, where it occurs, is cold. In temperate climates, winter rain can be chilling, soaking through clothes and making everything feel damp. The rain might mix with snow or sleet, creating miserable conditions. Winter rain can last for days, grey skies and steady drizzle, creating a monotonous backdrop. Yet this rain is important. It replenishes reservoirs and aquifers, providing water that will be needed in the drier months. In regions with Mediterranean climates, winter is the rainy season, and the rain is essential for the year's water supply. Monsoons are seasonal winds that bring dramatic changes in rainfall. In South Asia, the summer monsoon brings months of heavy rain after a long dry period. The arrival of the monsoon is a major event, celebrated and anticipated. The rain fills rivers, recharges groundwater, and enables agriculture. The landscape transforms from brown and dusty to lush and green. The monsoon is not constant. It pulses, with periods of heavy rain interspersed with breaks. The entire rhythm of life adjusts to the monsoon, from farming to festivals to daily routines. In some regions, the dry season is as important as the rainy season. During the dry months, rain is rare or absent. Rivers shrink, water sources dry up, and the land hardens. Life adapts. Trees may shed their leaves to conserve water. Animals migrate to areas where water is still available. Humans store water, dig wells, and carefully manage their resources. When the rains finally return, it is a relief and a renewal. The contrast between wet and dry defines existence in these climates. The timing of seasonal rains can shift, a natural variability that has always existed. Some years the rains come early, others they come late. Some years they are abundant, others they are sparse. This variability creates uncertainty. Farmers must make decisions about planting based on expectations of rain, but those expectations can be wrong. Societies have developed various strategies to cope with this uncertainty, from crop diversification to water storage to social networks that provide support in difficult years. Climate change is altering seasonal rainfall patterns in many parts of the world. Some regions are experiencing more intense rainfall events, while others are seeing longer dry periods. The timing of seasons is shifting. The predictability that societies have relied on for centuries is becoming less certain. This creates challenges for agriculture, water management, and disaster preparedness. Understanding and adapting to these changes is one of the great challenges of the 21st century. The sounds rain makes. Rain sounds different depending on what it falls upon. Each surface creates its own music. Rain on a tin roof is loud and rhythmic, a drumming that can be both exhilarating and overwhelming. The sound is sharp and clear, each drop a distinct note in a continuous performance. In some cultures, sleeping under a tin roof in the rain is cherished. The sound a lullaby that drowns out all other noise and focuses the mind on the simple fact of water falling from the sky. Rain on leaves creates a softer sound, a rustling and pattering. The drops hit the leaves and either bounce off or slide down to the next leaf below. In a forest, rain creates a layered sound, different in the canopy, the understory, and the ground. The leaves themselves vary in size and stiffness, each producing a slightly different note. The overall effect is a complex, organic music that changes as the rain intensifies or lightens, as the wind shifts the leaves, as drops collect and fall from branches in larger plops. Rain on water is one of the most soothing sounds. When rain falls on a lake, river, or ocean, it creates countless tiny impacts, each producing a small ripple and a gentle sound. Together, these sounds blend into a continuous, soft hiss. The surface of the water becomes textured, alive with circles expanding and overlapping. Sitting by a body of water during rain, you can watch and listen as the rain and water interact, a mesmerizing display that can hold attention for hours. Rain on stone and pavement has a harder quality. The drops hit solid surfaces and splash, creating a sharper sound. In cities, rain on sidewalks, streets, and buildings creates an urban symphony. The sound echoes off walls and fills alleyways. Water runs along gutters, adding a trickling or rushing note. Car tires splash through puddles, adding their own contribution. The city in rain has a different acoustic character than the city in sun. Quieter in some ways, more intimate, the usual noise muffled and replaced by the sounds of water. Rain on glass, like a window, creates a delicate tapping. Each drop hits and spreads, running down in small rivulets. Watching and listening to rain on a window is a common pastime. It is calming, almost hypnotic. The randomness of the drops, each arriving at its own moment, creates a pattern that is never quite predictable, but always engaging. Rain on a window is the sound of being sheltered, of being inside and safe while the weather happens outside. Rain on fabric, like a tent or an awning, produces a muted, soft sound. The fabric absorbs some of the impact, and the sound is less sharp than on hard surfaces. Camping in a tent during rain can be a magical experience. The rain on the tent fabric creates a cocoon of sound, surrounding you completely. It is immersive and comforting, a reminder of shelter and the thin barrier between you and the elements. Many people find the sound of rain on a tent deeply relaxing, conducive to sleep. Rain on sand or soil is barely audible unless the rain is very heavy. The ground absorbs the drops, muffling the sound. In a desert, rain on sand is a rare and almost silent event. The drops disappear quickly, soaking into the thirsty earth. In a garden or field, rain on soil is quiet, but you can almost feel the earth drinking. The absence of loud sounds allows other senses to take over. The smell of wet earth, the sight of soil darkening, the feel of humidity rising. Rain in different intensities creates different soundscapes. A light drizzle is barely audible, a background whisper. A moderate rain is noticeable, a steady presence. A heavy rain demands attention, loud and insistent. A violent downpour is overwhelming, a roar that fills the ears and makes conversation difficult. Each intensity has its own character, its own emotional impact. The light drizzle is contemplative. The moderate rain is soothing. The heavy rain is dramatic. The downpour is awe-inspiring. The sound of rain can trigger memories. For many people, the sound of rain on a roof brings back childhood memories of being tucked into bed while a storm raged outside, feeling safe and warm. The sound of rain on leaves might evoke memories of walks in the forest, or camping trips, or moments of solitude in nature. These associations make rain sounds even more powerful, connecting us not just to the present moment, but to our pasts, to other times and places where we heard the same sounds. Rain and human culture. Throughout history, humans have developed rich cultural relationships with rain. Rituals and ceremonies centered on rain exist in cultures around the world. These practices reflect the importance of rain for survival and the desire to understand and influence this essential but unpredictable force of nature. Rain dances, are perhaps the most well-known rain rituals. These ceremonial dances, performed by indigenous peoples in North America, Africa, and other regions, were meant to call forth rain from the sky. The specific forms of rain dances varied widely. Some involved elaborate costumes and masks, others were simpler. The dances might be performed by the entire community or by designated religious leaders. Music, chanting, and prayers often accompanied the movements. While modern understanding shows that dances cannot literally cause rain, these rituals served important social functions. They brought communities together in times of need, reinforced cultural identity, and provided a sense of agency when facing the uncertainties of weather. In ancient agricultural societies, rain was so vital that entire religious systems developed around weather deities. In Mesopotamia, the storm god Adad controlled rain and floods. Temples were built in his honor, and priests performed rituals to gain his favor. In Canaanite religion, Baal was a storm god associated with rain and fertility. The cycle of seasons, including the coming of rain, was seen as a cosmic battle between Baal and other gods. These myths helped people make sense of the natural world and their dependence on it. In Hindu tradition, Indra is the god of rain and thunderstorms. Ancient Vedic hymns praise Indra and request his blessings of rain. Indra was seen as a warrior god who defeated drought demons, releasing the waters trapped in the sky. Even today, rain is welcomed in India with prayers and celebrations, acknowledging its life-giving power. The festival of Tej, celebrated in parts of India and Nepal, marks the arrival of the monsoon and is dedicated to the goddess Parvati, with prayers for abundant rain and marital happiness. Japanese Shinto tradition includes rain deities, called rain kami. Shrines dedicated to these kami can be found throughout Japan, often near water sources. When rain was needed, communities would visit these shrines to pray and make offerings. Conversely, when there was too much rain and the threat of flooding, prayers were offered to stop the downpour. This reflects the dual nature of rain in human experience: necessary, but also potentially destructive. African traditional religions include many rain-related practices. Among the Zulu people of South Africa, the Rain Queen, or Mojaji, was believed to have the power to bring rain. The Rain Queen was a hereditary position held by women of a specific royal family. Communities would seek her blessing during times of drought. The position of Rain Queen continues to hold cultural significance today, though understood in a more symbolic way. It represents the enduring connection between leadership, spirituality, and the natural environment. In European folklore, certain days and saints were associated with rain. Saint Swithin's Day, celebrated on July 15th, has an old weather proverb attached to it. According to tradition, if it rains on Saint Swithin's Day, it will rain for 40 days afterward. This saying, while not meteorologically accurate, reflects the human desire to find patterns in weather and to mark the passing of seasons. Many folk traditions include weather lore, accumulated observations passed down through generations. Rain has also inspired secular traditions and sayings. The phrase, "April showers bring May flowers," is a common expression in English-speaking cultures, acknowledging that spring rain, though perhaps inconvenient, is necessary for the blooms that follow. Similarly, the saying, "Into each life some rain must fall," uses rain as a metaphor for inevitable hardships. These expressions show how deeply rain is woven into language and thought, serving as a symbol for various aspects of the human experience. In literature and music, rain continues to be a powerful theme. Folk songs from various cultures sing about rain, sometimes celebrating it, sometimes lamenting it. Sea shanties speak of storms at sea, where rain and wind posed dangers to sailors. Work songs from agricultural communities often reference rain, marking the seasons and the rhythms of planting and harvest. These songs preserve cultural memory and connect people to their ancestors who depended on rain in immediate and tangible ways. Modern celebrations of rain are less common but still exist. Some communities hold festivals to welcome the first rains of the season. In regions where water is scarce, the arrival of rain is cause for joy. Children play in puddles, people go outside to feel the drops, and a sense of relief and gratitude fills the air. Even in cities, where rain might be seen as an inconvenience, some people find beauty and pleasure in rainy days, seeing them as cozy opportunities to slow down and appreciate simple comforts. The science of rainbows. Rain often brings a companion that has enchanted humans for millennia: the rainbow. Rainbows appear when sunlight interacts with raindrops in the air. The science behind rainbows is beautiful in its elegance. When sunlight enters a raindrop, it slows down and bends, a process called refraction. Inside the drop, the light reflects off the back surface. As it exits the drop, it bends again. Different colors of light bend by slightly different amounts, so the white sunlight separates into its component colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. For a rainbow to be visible, several conditions must be met. The sun must be behind you, and rain or water droplets must be in front of you. The sunlight passes over your shoulder, enters the raindrops, and reflects back to your eyes. The angle matters too. The light that creates the rainbow is reflected at a specific angle, about 42 degrees from the direction opposite the sun. This is why rainbows appear as arcs. If you are high enough above the ground, with rain below you and the sun behind, you might see a full circle rainbow. The colors of the rainbow always appear in the same order, determined by the physics of light. Red light bends the least and appears on the outer edge of the arc. Violet light bends the most and appears on the inner edge. Between them, the other colors fan out in a smooth gradient. The purity and brightness of the colors depend on the size of the raindrops. Larger drops produce more vivid colors, while smaller drops create paler, more washed-out rainbows. Sometimes, a double rainbow appears. This happens when light reflects twice inside the raindrops before exiting. The secondary rainbow is fainter and appears outside the primary one. Interestingly, the colors in the secondary rainbow are reversed, with violet on the outside and red on the inside. Between the two rainbows is a darker band called Alexander's band, named after the ancient Greek philosopher Alexander of Aphrodisias, who first described it. This band is darker because light is deflected away from this region. Rainbows have fascinated and mystified humans throughout history. Many cultures have myths and legends about rainbows. In Greek mythology, the rainbow was the path of Iris, the messenger goddess who traveled between the gods and humanity. In Norse mythology, the rainbow bridge Bifrost connected the earth to Asgard, the realm of the gods. In Irish folklore, leprechauns are said to hide pots of gold at the end of the rainbow. Of course, there is no end to a rainbow. It is an optical effect that moves as you move, but the legend persists as a charming story. In the biblical story of Noah, God places a rainbow in the sky as a sign of his covenant never to flood the earth again. The rainbow becomes a symbol of promise and hope, a reminder of divine mercy after destruction. This story has deeply influenced Western culture, and the rainbow continues to be seen as a symbol of hope, peace, and new beginnings. After a storm, when the sun breaks through and a rainbow appears, it feels like a message that the worst is over. Scientifically, The understanding of rainbows advanced significantly during the 17th century. René Descartes and Isaac Newton both studied rainbows and light. Newton's experiments with prisms demonstrated that white light is composed of many colors. He showed that a prism could separate white light into a spectrum, and that a second prism could recombine the colors back into white light. This work laid the foundation for our modern understanding of light and color. Rainbows are not limited to rain. They can appear in mist from waterfalls, in the spray from fountains or sprinklers, or even in dew on grass in the early morning. Anywhere water droplets are suspended in the air with sunlight shining through them, a rainbow can form. Moonbows, or lunar rainbows, are rare rainbows created by moonlight rather than sunlight. They are much fainter and often appear white to the human eye, though long exposure photography can reveal their colors. The fleeting nature of rainbows adds to their magic. They last only as long as the conditions that create them. As the rain moves, as the sun shifts, the rainbow fades. You cannot reach a rainbow or touch it. It exists only in the interaction between light, water, and your eyes. Each person sees a slightly different rainbow because each person's eyes are in a different position. The rainbow you see is unique to you, a personal gift from the physics of light, rain, and memory. Rain has a unique ability to evoke memories. The sound of rain, the smell of wet earth, the sight of droplets on a window, all can transport us back to other times and places. This happens because our senses are closely linked to memory in the brain. The smell of rain, in particular, can trigger vivid recollections. The human sense of smell is connected to the limbic system, the part of the brain involved in emotion and memory. A scent can bring back not just a memory, but the feelings associated with it. Many people have childhood memories tied to rain. Perhaps you remember jumping in puddles, feeling the splash of water on your legs, the sound of your parents calling you inside. Or maybe you recall a stormy night, huddled with family, telling stories or playing games, while the wind howled outside. These memories are often warm and comforting, associated with safety and togetherness. Rain created a boundary between the inside and outside, making home feel like a refuge. For others, rain might evoke memories of loneliness or sadness, a rainy day spent alone, waiting for something or someone that never came. Rain at a funeral, adding to the sense of grief and finality. Rain can mirror our emotional states, and when we are sad, rainy weather can seem to reflect and amplify those feelings. This association is so common that it appears throughout art and literature, the rain as a symbol of sorrow or melancholy. Rain also marks transitions and changes. The first rain after a long dry spell signals the change of seasons. The rain that ends a drought brings relief and hope. Rain at the beginning of a journey or at a parting can feel significant, as though nature is acknowledging the moment. These transitional rains become markers in our personal narratives, moments we remember because they coincided with important events in our lives. Rainy days often feel different from sunny ones. The light is softer, more diffused. Colors appear muted. The world feels quieter, more subdued. This change in atmosphere affects our mood and behavior. Rainy days are often days of introspection, of staying indoors and engaging in quiet activities, reading, writing, listening to music, or simply sitting and thinking. The rain outside creates a space for internal reflection, a pause in the usual rush of life. In cultures where rain is scarce, memories of rain can be especially powerful. A person who grew up in a desert might remember the few times it rained with extraordinary clarity. The excitement, the wonder, the way everyone came outside to watch and feel the rain, the smell, the coolness, the sudden transformation of the landscape. These memories stand out precisely because rain was rare. a special event rather than a common occurrence. Rain can also be tied to memories of travel and place. The rain in one region feels different from the rain in another. Tropical rain is warm and heavy. Mountain rain is cold and sharp. Coastal rain is soft and persistent. When we remember places we have been, we often remember the weather, and rain is a big part of that. A trip to a rainforest with daily afternoon showers. A vacation interrupted by unexpected storms. A move to a new city where the rain falls differently than in the place you left behind. Shared experiences of rain can bond people together. A group caught in a sudden downpour, running for shelter and laughing at the absurdity. A community coming together after a flood to clean up and rebuild. A family gathered around a fireplace while a storm rages outside. These shared moments become stories that are told and retold, part of the collective memory of a family or group. Rain provides the backdrop for human connection. The passage of time is marked by rain. Farmers know the years by their rains, whether they were wet or dry, early or late. Gardeners remember which summers had good rain for the vegetables and which required constant watering. Children grow up and remember the rain of their childhood, perhaps different from the rain they experience as adults if they have moved or if climate patterns have shifted. Rain is a thread running through our lives, sometimes in the foreground, sometimes in the background, but always present. Rain in modern life. In the modern world, rain is still essential, but our relationship with it has changed. We have technologies to predict rain, to capture and store it, to irrigate without depending solely on rainfall. Yet, we are not independent of rain. Cities still depend on rain to fill reservoirs that supply drinking water. Agriculture, even with irrigation, still relies on rain to recharge aquifers and rivers. Ecosystems, which we depend on for countless services, need rain to function. We may live in climate-controlled buildings and drive in covered vehicles, but rain remains a fundamental part of the system that sustains us. Weather forecasting has advanced tremendously. Meteorologists can predict rain days in advance with reasonable accuracy. Satellites observe cloud patterns from space. Radar tracks precipitation in real time. Computer models simulate atmospheric conditions and predict how they will evolve. This information is disseminated through television, internet, and smartphone apps. People can plan their activities around the forecast, avoiding rain or preparing for it. This predictability reduces the uncertainty that plagued earlier generations. Yet forecasts are not perfect. Rain can still surprise us. A system can strengthen unexpectedly, bringing heavier rain than anticipated, or it can weaken, delivering less. Timing can be off. The rain predicted for morning might not arrive until afternoon. The inherent chaos of atmospheric systems means that perfect prediction remains elusive. There is always an element of uncertainty, a reminder that nature is not fully under our control. Urban areas have complex relationships with rain. Cities are built to shed water quickly. Roofs, roads, parking lots, and sidewalks are impermeable. When rain falls, it runs off rapidly, often overwhelming drainage systems. This leads to urban flooding, even from moderate rain events. Cities are increasingly investing in green infrastructure to manage stormwater. Rain gardens, permeable pavements, and green roofs allow water to soak into the ground instead of rushing into sewers. These solutions mimic natural processes and reduce flood risk while providing other benefits like cooling and habitat. Climate change is altering rain patterns globally. Some regions are experiencing more intense rainfall events, with more rain falling in shorter periods. This increases the risk of flash flooding and erosion. Other regions are seeing longer dry periods between rain events, leading to drought. The timing of seasonal rains is shifting. affecting agriculture and water supplies. Warmer air can hold more moisture, which means that when it rains, it can rain harder. Understanding and adapting to these changes is critical for managing water resources and reducing disaster risk. Water scarcity is a growing concern in many parts of the world. Even regions with adequate annual rainfall can face shortages if that rain falls at the wrong times or if demand exceeds supply. Population growth, increased agricultural demand, and industrial use all put pressure on water resources. Conservation, efficient use, and improved storage and distribution are necessary. Rain is the ultimate source of fresh water, and managing it wisely is essential for future sustainability. Rainwater harvesting is an ancient practice that is seeing renewed interest. The idea is simple. Capture rain that falls on roofs or other surfaces and store it for later use. In dry regions, harvested rainwater can supplement other water sources. In wet regions, it can reduce demand on municipal systems and help manage stormwater. Rainwater can be used for irrigation, toilet flushing, laundry, and with proper treatment, even drinking. Simple systems collect water in barrels. More complex systems involve tanks, filtration, and pumping. Rainwater harvesting connects modern people to an age-old wisdom. Rain is a resource to be valued and used carefully. Rain also affects infrastructure and transportation. Heavy rain can cause landslides, wash out roads, and damage bridges. Flooding can inundate homes and businesses. In cities, rain can slow traffic, cause accidents, and delay public transportation. Airlines are affected by rain and associated storms, which can lead to delays and cancellations. The economic impacts of rain, both too much and too little, are significant. Preparing for and responding to these impacts requires planning, investment, and resilience. Despite the challenges, rain continues to be appreciated. Many people find joy in rainy days. The sound of rain, the smell, the excuse to stay indoors and relax. Rainy days offer a break from the usual routine, a chance to slow down. In a world that often feels too fast, too busy, too demanding, rain provides a natural pause. It is a reminder that some things cannot be rushed or controlled, that we are still subject to the rhythms of nature. Rain and plants. Plants have evolved countless adaptations to make use of rain and to survive both abundance and scarcity. Rain is their primary source of water, which is essential for almost every biological process. Water is the medium in which nutrients dissolve and are transported throughout the plant. It is a raw material for photosynthesis, the process by which plants create energy from sunlight. Plants lose water constantly through transpiration, the evaporation of water from their leaves, so they must continually replace it by absorbing water from the soil. When rain falls, it soaks into the ground, and plant roots absorb the water. Different plants have different root structures suited to their environments. In wet climates, plants may have shallow, spreading roots that take advantage of frequent rains. In dry climates, plants often have deep roots that reach down to water stored in lower soil layers or even groundwater. Some desert plants have extensive root systems that spread out to capture as much water as possible from infrequent rains. Leaves are designed to capture and channel rain. Some leaves have waxy coatings that cause water to bead up and roll off, preventing the leaves from becoming waterlogged. Other leaves have grooves or channels that direct water toward the center of the plant, funneling it down to the roots. The shape and structure of leaves reflect the plant's environment and its strategies for managing water. Even the angle at which leaves grow can affect how rain interacts with the plant. In rainforests, where rain is abundant, plants compete for light more than water. Tall trees grow rapidly upward to reach the sunlight above the canopy. Epiphytes, plants that grow on other plants, live high in the canopy where light is available. They have no access to soil, so they capture water directly from rain and from moisture in the air. Bromeliads, for example, have leaves arranged in a rosette that forms a central cup. Rain fills this cup, creating a tiny reservoir. These plants have evolved to live entirely on what rain provides. In seasonal climates, many plants are adapted to periods of rain and drought. Deciduous trees shed their leaves during the dry season to reduce water loss. When the rains return, they quickly produce new leaves and resume growth. Annual plants complete their entire life cycle during the rainy season. They sprout with the first rains, grow rapidly, flower, produce seeds, and die before the dry season returns. Their seeds remain dormant in the soil, waiting for the next rains to trigger germination. Desert plants have some of the most remarkable adaptations to scarce rain. Cacti store water in their thick stems, which can expand to hold large amounts. They have shallow, wide-spreading roots that quickly absorb water when it rains. Their leaves have been reduced to spines, reducing the surface area through which water can be lost. Photosynthesis in cacti happens in the stems. Some desert plants, like the creosote bush, have roots that release chemicals into the soil to inhibit the growth of other plants nearby, reducing competition for scarce water. Succulents, a broader category that includes cacti, have thick, fleshy leaves or stems that store water. They are found in dry regions around the world. Their ability to store water allows them to survive long periods without rain. When rain does come, they absorb as much as possible and store it for later. Some succulents can swell visibly after a rain, their tissues filling with water. As the dry period continues, they slowly use up these reserves, shrinking slightly. Rain also affects the timing of plant reproduction. Many plants flower in response to rain. In deserts, flowering can occur within days of a significant rainfall. The landscape suddenly bursts into color as plants race to reproduce before the water is gone. Pollinators, often insects that also emerge with the rain, visit these flowers, facilitating cross-pollination. Seeds are produced quickly, and they fall to the ground where they will wait for the next rain to germinate. In tropical regions, fruiting often coincides with the rainy season. Trees produce fruit when water is abundant, ensuring that the fruit develops fully. Animals that eat the fruit are also more active during the rainy season, when food is plentiful. These animals disperse the seeds, often far from the parent tree, helping plants colonize new areas. The relationship between rain, fruiting, and animal behavior is a finely tuned system honed by evolution. Some plants have evolved to capture more than their share of rain. Certain trees have wide-spreading canopies that intercept rain and channel it down the trunk. The soil around the base of these trees receives more water than the surrounding area. This creates a favorable microenvironment for the tree, giving it a competitive advantage. Other plants in the vicinity may receive less rain because it has been intercepted, a form of competition for a vital resource. Rain washes nutrients from leaves and carries them into the soil. Dust, pollen, and organic matter that settle on leaves are rinsed off by rain. This material enriches the soil, making nutrients available to the plant's roots. In forests, the rain passing through the canopy becomes enriched with nutrients leached from leaves. This nutrient-rich water, called throughfall, is an important source of nutrition for the forest floor. Rain is not just water, it is a delivery system for nutrients essential to plant life. Rain and animals. Animals, like plants, are deeply connected to rain. Terrestrial animals need water to drink, and rain is often their primary source. In wet climates, Animals may have access to water year-round, from streams, lakes, and puddles. In dry climates, rain is a more critical event. When it rains, temporary pools form, and animals gather to drink. Some animals can survive long periods without drinking by obtaining water from their food or by having specialized physiological adaptations. Amphibians are especially dependent on rain. Frogs, toads, salamanders, and caecilians need water for reproduction. Most amphibians lay their eggs in water, and their larvae are aquatic. In temperate regions, spring rains fill ponds and wetlands, triggering breeding. The chorus of frogs on a rainy spring night is a familiar sound in many places. In tropical regions, rainy seasons prompt mass breeding events. Thousands of frogs may emerge and call for mates, creating a deafening chorus. Some desert frogs have remarkable adaptations to infrequent rain. They spend most of their lives buried underground in a state of dormancy. When rain finally comes, they emerge within hours. They breed quickly in temporary pools, laying eggs that develop rapidly. The tadpoles must complete their development before the water evaporates. The young frogs then burrow back into the ground, where they will wait for the next rain, which could be months or even years away. Birds respond to rain in various ways. Many birds are more active during or after rain. Insects emerge, worms come to the surface, and food is abundant. Birds take advantage of this bounty. Some birds bathe in the rain, spreading their wings and feathers to let the water rinse away dirt and parasites. Rain can also affect bird migration. Birds often wait for favorable weather to migrate, and the end of the rainy season or the beginning of it can signal the right time to move. Insects have complex relationships with rain. For some, rain is beneficial. Butterflies and bees emerge when flowers bloom after rain. Mosquitoes breed in standing water, so rain that creates puddles and pools leads to population booms. For other insects, rain is a challenge. Flying insects are grounded by rain, their wings too wet to function. They seek shelter and wait for the rain to pass. Ants protect their colonies from flooding, sometimes building raised mounds or tunnels that direct water away. Mammals respond to rain depending on their size and habitat. Large mammals like elephants and antelope can often tolerate rain without much difficulty. They may continue their activities, though they might seek some shelter during heavy downpours. Small mammals are more vulnerable to getting wet and cold. They retreat to burrows, dens, or nests where they stay dry. Rain can affect the availability of food both positively and negatively. Some animals find more food after rain, while others find it harder to forage. In arid regions, rain triggers dramatic changes in animal behavior. Herbivores move to areas where fresh vegetation has sprouted. Carnivores follow the herbivores. Migration patterns can be influenced by rain. The wildebeest migration in East Africa, one of the most spectacular wildlife events on Earth, is driven by the search for fresh grass that grows with the rains. Millions of wildebeest, along with zebras and other grazers, move in a vast circuit following the seasonal rains. Marine and aquatic animals are affected by rain in different ways. Rain adds fresh water to the ocean, which can create layers of different salinity. This affects the distribution of nutrients and can influence where fish and other marine life are found. In rivers and streams, rain increases flow and can change water temperature and chemistry. Fish may move to different parts of the river in response to these changes. Rain can also wash sediment and pollutants into waterways, affecting aquatic ecosystems. Rain provides opportunities for some animals to move. Slugs and snails, which need moisture to prevent desiccation, become active during and after rain. They emerge from hiding and move across the landscape, feeding on plants and fungi. Similarly, earthworms come to the surface during rain. There are various theories about why they do this, including avoiding drowning in waterlogged soil, taking advantage of easier movement across wet surfaces, and responding to vibrations similar to those made by predators. Animals have evolved behaviors and physiologies to cope with rain. Some have waterproof fur or feathers that repel water. Ducks and other waterfowl have oil glands that they use to coat their feathers, making them water-resistant. Some animals, like certain frogs, have skin secretions that prevent water loss and protect against pathogens that might enter through wet skin. Others, like camels, can go long periods without water, but when rain comes and vegetation blooms, they take advantage of the abundance. Rain and soil. Soil is transformed by rain. When rain falls on bare soil, it can cause erosion, washing away topsoil and nutrients. But rain also helps build soil. Water is necessary for the weathering of rocks, the first step in soil formation. Water seeps into cracks, expands when it freezes, and breaks rocks apart. It also dissolves minerals, making them available to plants and microorganisms. Over long periods, rain contributes to the creation of the rich, fertile soil that supports life. Rain affects soil structure. When soil is dry, it can become compacted and hard. Rain softens the soil, making it easier for roots to penetrate and for organisms to move through it. However, heavy rain can also damage soil structure. The force of raindrops hitting bare soil can break apart aggregates, the small clumps of soil particles that give soil its structure. This can lead to crusting, where a hard layer forms on the surface, preventing water infiltration and seed germination. Vegetation protects soil from rain's erosive power. Plant roots hold soil in place. Leaves and stems break the fall of raindrops, reducing their impact. Organic matter from decaying plants improves soil structure, making it more resistant to erosion. In forests and grasslands, rain soaks into the soil rather than running off. In areas where vegetation has been removed, such as agricultural fields after harvest or logged forests, soil is vulnerable. Heavy rain can wash away tons of soil, carrying it into streams and rivers. Rain recharges soil moisture, which is essential for plant growth. Soil acts as a sponge, holding water between particles. Plants draw on this stored water between rain events. The amount of water soil can hold depends on its texture and composition. Sandy soils drain quickly and hold less water. Clay soils hold more water but drain slowly. Loamy soils, a mix of sand, silt, and clay, are considered ideal for most plants, balancing water retention and drainage. Soil organisms, from bacteria to fungi to earthworms, depend on soil moisture. Rain creates a favorable environment for these organisms. After rain, decomposition accelerates as microorganisms break down organic matter. This process releases nutrients into the soil, making them available for plants. Earthworms burrow more actively in moist soil, aerating it and mixing organic matter. The activity of soil organisms after rain contributes to soil health and fertility. Rain can also leach nutrients from soil. As water percolates downward, it carries dissolved nutrients with it. In regions with heavy rainfall, this leaching can deplete soil of essential nutrients over time. Tropical rainforests, despite their lushness, often have nutrient-poor soils because nutrients are quickly cycled through the ecosystem rather than accumulating in the soil. The nutrients are held in the living biomass, the plants and organisms, rather than in the earth itself. Farmers have long understood the relationship between rain and soil. Traditional agricultural practices in many cultures include measures to conserve soil and manage water. Terracing on hillsides reduces erosion by slowing water runoff. Contour plowing, where furrows follow the contour of the land, also slows water and reduces erosion. Cover crops, planted to protect soil during off-seasons, prevent erosion and add organic matter. These practices recognize that soil is a precious resource that rain can both nourish and destroy. Modern agriculture faces challenges related to rain and soil. Intensive farming can degrade soil structure, making it more vulnerable to erosion. The use of heavy machinery can compact soil, reducing its ability to absorb water. Monoculture, growing the same crop repeatedly, can deplete specific nutrients and reduce organic matter. Addressing these issues requires sustainable practices that maintain soil health, such as crop rotation, reduced tillage, and the addition of organic matter. Rain after a long dry period has a special quality. The first rain wets the soil surface, but it takes time for water to penetrate deeply. If the rain is heavy, water may run off before it can soak in. But with steady, gentle rain, water gradually infiltrates, moving downward through the soil layers. Deep-rooted plants can access this water even when the surface has dried out again. The pattern of rain, its timing, intensity, and duration all affect how water moves through soil and how available it is to plants. Climate change is altering the patterns of rain and soil moisture. In some regions, more intense rainfall events mean that more water runs off and less soaks in. This increases erosion and reduces groundwater recharge. In other regions, longer dry periods between rains mean that soil dries out more deeply, stressing plants and increasing the risk of drought. Understanding and adapting to these changes is essential for agriculture, forestry, and ecosystem management. The many moods of rain. Rain has a personality that changes with the weather. Light rain on a spring morning feels gentle and renewing. It is the rain of new beginnings, of seeds sprouting and flowers opening. The air is fresh, and the world is washed clean. This rain invites you outside, to walk and feel the soft droplets on your face, to breathe in the scent of wet earth and growing things. It is rain that feels kind, generous, life-giving. Heavy rain on a summer afternoon is powerful and dramatic. Dark clouds gather, the wind picks up, and then the rain arrives in a rush. It drums on roofs and streets, creating a wall of sound. Lightning flashes and thunder rumbles. This rain is intense, almost overwhelming. It demands attention. You cannot ignore it. It is the rain of storms, of nature's strength and unpredictability. It passes relatively quickly, leaving behind puddles and a sense of awe. Autumn rain is melancholy. The days are shorter, the air is cooler, and the rain falls steadily, sometimes for days. Leaves fall and are washed into gutters. The landscape takes on shades of grey and brown. This rain feels reflective, a time to turn inward. It is the rain of endings, of the year winding down. It can feel sad, but it is also necessary, preparing the earth for winter and rest. It is a rain that asks you to slow down, to be quiet, to think. Winter rain is cold and uninviting. In places where winter means snow, rain feels out of place, a grey and dreary substitute. The rain is icy, and the air is damp. This is the rain that chills you to the bone, that makes you hurry indoors and seek warmth. It is not the rain of growth, but the rain of endurance. It tests patience, making you long for sun or even for honest snow. Winter rain can feel like nature's way of saying that the cold season is not yet over. Monsoon rain is transformational. In regions with monsoon climates, the arrival of the monsoon is eagerly awaited. The land has been dry, dusty, and hot. Then the monsoon comes, and the rain falls day after day. Rivers swell, reservoirs fill, and the landscape transforms. Green replaces brown, and life bursts forth. The monsoon is both a blessing and a challenge. It brings the water needed for crops, but it can also bring floods and destruction. It is powerful and essential, a force that shapes entire societies. Tropical rain is warm and heavy. It falls in sheets, so thick that visibility drops to almost nothing. The rain is not cold, so being caught in it is not particularly uncomfortable, just very wet. Tropical rain often comes in the afternoon, a daily occurrence that people plan around. It arrives, pours down for an hour or two, and then stops, leaving the air even more humid than before. This rain is part of the rhythm of life in the tropics, as regular as sunrise and sunset. Desert rain is rare and precious. When clouds gather over a desert, people notice. The rain that falls is often brief but intense. The dry earth drinks it in immediately. The scent of rain on hot desert soil is intense, a mix of dust and moisture that is unlike anything else. Desert rain feels miraculous, a gift in a harsh environment. It brings life in its wake. Flowers blooming, insects emerging, birds singing. It is rain that is remembered, talked about, celebrated. Rain at night has a particular quality. Lying in bed, you hear the rain on the roof, a soothing rhythm that lulls you towards sleep. The world outside is dark and wet, but you are inside, warm and safe. Night rain feels protective, a blanket of sound that shields you from the outside world. It is the rain of rest and dreams, of letting go of the day and drifting into sleep. Many people find night rain the most comforting of all. Rain at dawn is fresh and hopeful. You wake to the sound of raindrops, and the day begins with a sense of calm. Morning rain is often gentle, a soft patter rather than a downpour. It is the rain that makes you want to brew tea or coffee, to sit by the window and watch the world wake up. Morning rain feels like a blessing, a gentle start to the day. It invites contemplation and gratitude. Rain at dusk is wistful. The day is ending, and the rain adds to the sense of transition. Streetlights come on, their glow reflecting in puddles. The air is filled with the scent of rain and evening. Dusk rain feels nostalgic, a time for remembering. It is the rain that makes you think of other rainy evenings, other moments when day turned to night and the rain fell softly. It is rain that connects past and present, making time feel fluid. Thunderstorms. Thunderstorms are rain's most dramatic manifestation. They form when warm, moist air rises rapidly, creating towering cumulonimbus clouds. Inside these clouds, powerful updrafts and downdrafts create turbulence. Water droplets and ice particles collide, exchanging electrical charge. This process builds up static electricity within the cloud. When the electrical potential becomes great enough, it is released as lightning, a brilliant flash that heats the air to temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun. Thunder is the sound of that superheated air expanding rapidly. The air expands so fast that it creates a shockwave, which we hear as a rumble or crack. Because light travels much faster than sound, we see lightning before we hear thunder. By counting the seconds between the flash and the sound, you can estimate how far away the storm is. 5 seconds equals roughly 1 mile. The rumbling quality of thunder comes from sound waves reflecting off clouds, the ground, and other surfaces, creating echoes that blend together. Lightning takes several forms. Cloud-to-ground lightning is the most dangerous, striking the earth with immense power. Cloud-to-cloud lightning occurs within or between clouds and is more common. Sheet lightning illuminates the clouds from within, creating a diffuse glow. Forked lightning is the dramatic, branching form that we often picture. Lightning seeks the path of least resistance, which is why it branches as it searches for the easiest route to the ground or to another charged region of cloud. Thunderstorms can be violent and dangerous. Strong winds, heavy rain, hail, and lightning all pose threats. In severe thunderstorms, tornadoes can form, spinning columns of air that descend from the clouds and touch the ground. Tornadoes are nature's most intense winds, capable of tremendous destruction. They are most common in certain regions, like the central United States, where warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico meets cool, dry air from Canada, creating ideal conditions for severe storms. Hail forms in thunderstorms, when updrafts carry raindrops upward into extremely cold parts of the cloud. The droplets freeze into ice pellets, then fall, gathering more water as they descend. If they are caught in another updraft, they are carried up again, and the process repeats. Layers of ice build up, creating hailstones. The largest hailstones come from the most powerful storms, with updrafts strong enough to keep the stones aloft while they grow. Hail can be devastating to crops, vehicles, and structures. Despite their dangers, thunderstorms are essential. They bring needed rain to many regions. They help redistribute heat and moisture in the atmosphere. The updrafts and downdrafts in thunderstorms mix the air, affecting weather patterns over large areas. Lightning also produces nitrogen compounds that fall to the ground with rain, fertilizing soil. Thunderstorms are a vital part of Earth's weather system, even if they can be frightening and destructive. Experiencing a thunderstorm from a safe place can be exhilarating. The sight of lightning splitting the sky, the rumble of thunder vibrating through your chest, the roar of rain and wind, there is something primal about it, a reminder of nature's power. Humans have always been awed and frightened by storms. Ancient peoples attributed them to gods. Even today, with scientific understanding, storms can evoke a sense of wonder and respect. Many people find the sound of a distant thunderstorm soothing. The rumble of thunder is deep and resonant. Combined with the sound of rain, it creates a soundscape that is both powerful and calming. The key is distance. A storm that is far away poses no threat, so you can relax and enjoy the sounds without anxiety. Distant thunder becomes part of the rain's symphony, adding a bass note that makes the experience richer. Thunderstorms are most common in tropical and subtropical regions, where heat and moisture are abundant. In these areas, afternoon thunderstorms are a daily occurrence during certain seasons. In temperate regions, thunderstorms are more seasonal, common in late spring and summer when the air is warm. In polar regions, thunderstorms are rare. The cold air lacks the energy needed to generate the strong convection that powers storms. Climate change is affecting thunderstorms. Warmer air can hold more moisture, providing more fuel for storms. This can lead to more intense rainfall and stronger storms in some regions. The frequency of severe thunderstorms may be increasing in some areas. Understanding these changes is important for safety and preparedness. Thunderstorms are powerful natural phenomena, and as the climate changes, their character may change too. Rain and rivers. Rain feeds rivers, which are the arteries of the landscape. When rain falls, some of it flows over the land, gathering in small rills and channels. These merge into streams, which flow into larger rivers. Rivers carry water from high elevations to lower ones, eventually reaching the sea. Along the way, they shape the land, carving valleys, transporting sediment, and creating habitats for countless species. The amount of water in a river varies with rainfall. During wet seasons or after heavy rains, rivers swell and flow rapidly. During dry periods, they shrink, sometimes to a trickle. Some rivers in arid regions are ephemeral, flowing only after rain and then drying up completely. These ephemeral rivers are still important, providing brief pulses of water and nutrients to ecosystems adapted to their intermittent presence. Floods occur when rivers cannot contain the volume of water flowing into them. Heavy or prolonged rain can cause rivers to overflow their banks. Floodwaters spread across the floodplain, the flat area adjacent to the river. Floods can be destructive, damaging property and infrastructure, but they also have ecological benefits. Floodplains are often highly fertile, enriched by sediment deposited during floods. Many ecosystems depend on regular flooding to deliver nutrients and renew habitats. Humans have a complex relationship with rivers and floods. Many of the world's great civilizations arose along rivers. The Nile in Egypt, the Tigris and Euphrates in Mesopotamia, the Indus in Pakistan, the Yangtze and Yellow in China, all provided water for agriculture and transportation. Seasonal floods were anticipated and even welcomed for the fertile soil they left behind. However, unexpected or extreme floods were disasters. In the modern era, humans have tried to control rivers with dams, levees, and channels. Dams store water during wet periods, releasing it during dry periods to ensure a steady supply. They also generate hydroelectric power. Levees are built to contain rivers and prevent flooding. While these structures provide benefits, they also have drawbacks. Dams alter river ecosystems, blocking fish migration and changing water temperature and flow. Levees can worsen flooding downstream and cut off the floodplain from the river, reducing habitat and soil fertility. River deltas are formed where rivers meet the sea. The river slows as it enters the ocean, depositing the sediment it has carried. Over time, this sediment builds up, creating a delta. Deltas are dynamic, constantly shaped by both river and ocean. They are rich habitats, supporting diverse plant and animal life. Many deltas are heavily populated by humans, drawn by the fertile soil and access to both river and sea. However, deltas are vulnerable to flooding, especially as sea levels rise due to climate change. Rain in a river's headwaters can affect areas far downstream. A storm in the mountains can cause a river to rise days later, hundreds of miles away. This connectivity means that managing rivers requires considering the entire watershed, the area of land that drains into the river. Activities in one part of the watershed can affect water quality and quantity elsewhere. Sustainable river management is a challenge that requires cooperation across regions and sometimes nations. Rivers also carry pollutants. Rain washes pollutants from the land into streams and rivers. Agricultural runoff carries fertilizers and pesticides. Urban runoff carries oil, heavy metals, and litter. Industrial discharges add chemicals. All of this flows downriver, affecting water quality and aquatic life. Cleaning up rivers and preventing pollution requires addressing sources throughout the watershed. Rain, as part of the water cycle, connects land and water in ways that make pollution everyone's concern. Some rivers have cultural and spiritual significance. In India, the Ganges is considered sacred. Millions of people depend on it for water, and rituals involve bathing in its waters. In many indigenous cultures, rivers are seen as living entities with their own rights. Protecting rivers is not just an environmental issue but a cultural and ethical one. Rain, by feeding rivers, sustains these cultural connections. The sound of a river is soothing, and it shares qualities with the sound of rain. Both involve flowing water, creating continuous, rhythmic sounds that can calm the mind. Sitting by a river on a rainy day, you experience both sounds together, the rain falling from the sky and the river flowing past. It is a deeply peaceful experience, a double immersion in the sounds of water, rain and lakes. Lakes are formed in depressions in the landscape, and many are fed by rain and rivers. Rain falling directly on a lake's surface adds to its volume. Rain falling on the surrounding land flows into the lake via streams and runoff. The balance between water entering a lake and water leaving through evaporation, outflow, or seepage determines the lake's level. In wet periods, lakes fill and may overflow. In dry periods, they shrink, and some can dry up completely. Lakes moderate the local climate. Large bodies of water absorb heat during the day and release it at night, creating more stable temperatures in nearby areas. This moderating effect is called a lake effect. Lakes can also generate their own weather patterns. Lake effect snow, for example, occurs when cold air moves over a warmer lake, picking up moisture and then dumping it as snow on the downwind shore. Lake effect rain is also possible, with rain forming as moist air from the lake rises and cools. Lakes support diverse ecosystems. The water provides habitat for fish, amphibians, invertebrates, and aquatic plants. Birds gather at lakes, some living there year-round, others stopping during migration. Mammals come to drink and sometimes hunt. The ecosystem of a lake extends beyond the water itself, including the surrounding wetlands and the upland areas that drain into it. Rain, by feeding the lake, supports all of this life. Human societies have long relied on lakes for water, food, and transportation. Lakes have provided drinking water and irrigation. Fishing in lakes has been a food source for millennia. Boats on lakes have carried people and goods. Today, lakes are also valued for recreation. Boating, swimming, and fishing draw millions of people to lakes each year. Maintaining the health of lakes is important for both ecological and human reasons. Lakes can be fragile. They are vulnerable to pollution, invasive species, and changes in water level. Polluted runoff can cause eutrophication, where excess nutrients lead to algal blooms. These blooms deplete oxygen in the water, harming fish and other organisms. Invasive species, introduced by human activity, can disrupt native ecosystems. Changes in rainfall patterns due to climate change can cause lakes to shrink or even disappear. Protecting lakes requires careful management of the surrounding land and the water that flows into them. Some lakes are ancient, existing for millions of years. Lake Baikal in Siberia is the world's oldest and deepest lake, holding about 20% of the world's unfrozen freshwater. It is home to species found nowhere else. Other lakes are young, formed by glaciers during the last ice age. The Great Lakes of North America were carved by glaciers and filled with meltwater. They are vast, more like inland seas than lakes, and they have profoundly shaped the region's ecology and human history. Crater lakes form in the calderas of extinct volcanoes. Rain and snowmelt fill the crater, creating a lake. These lakes can be very deep and are often strikingly beautiful. Crater Lake in Oregon, for example, is famous for its intense blue color, the result of its depth and purity. Crater lakes are relatively isolated ecosystems, sometimes developing unique species adapted to their specific conditions. Rain on a lake creates a distinctive sound and visual effect. Each drop creates a small ripple, and thousands of drops create a complex pattern of overlapping circles. The surface of the lake becomes textured, shimmering with movement. The sound is softer than rain on solid surfaces, a gentle hiss and patter. Being on or near a lake during rain is a sensory experience that many find deeply relaxing. Lakes freeze in winter in cold climates, but the rain that fell during warmer months is stored as ice. When spring comes and the ice melts, the lake releases that stored water. The cycle of freezing and thawing, along with rain and snowfall, determines the lake's volume and health. Understanding these cycles is essential for managing lakes and the ecosystems they support. Rain, in art and music. Throughout history, artists and musicians have been inspired by rain. In painting, rain has been depicted in various ways. Some artists focus on the visual effects of rain, the way it blurs the landscape, softens edges, and creates reflections. Impressionist painters were particularly drawn to these effects. Monet painted rainy scenes, where the rain itself is almost felt in the way the paint is applied, loose and suggestive rather than detailed. Japanese art has a long tradition of depicting rain. Ukiyo-e woodblock prints often show travelers caught in sudden showers, their figures bent against the rain, umbrellas raised. These prints capture a moment, a slice of life where weather plays a central role. The rain is rendered with delicate lines, creating a sense of movement and atmosphere. Hiroshige's sudden shower over Shin-Ohashi Bridge is one of the most famous examples, with rain falling in diagonal streaks across the scene. In Western art, rain often adds mood and emotion to a scene. A rainy street can feel lonely or romantic, depending on the treatment. Artists use rain to convey feelings that words might not capture. Rain can symbolize sadness, renewal, or simply the passage of time. The way rain is depicted, whether as a gentle mist or a torrential downpour, affects the entire composition and the emotions it evokes. Music inspired by rain is found across cultures and genres. Classical composers have written pieces that evoke rain. Chopin's Raindrop prelude, while not explicitly about rain, is often interpreted that way because of its repeated note that sounds like a drip. Liszt's Les Jeux d'eau à la Via d'Est depicts fountains and water in motion, evoking a similar feeling. Debussy, a master of musical impressionism, captured the essence of rain in his music, using textures and harmonies that suggest water and atmosphere. In folk and traditional music, rain appears frequently. Work songs from agricultural societies often mention rain, marking the seasons and the rhythms of planting and harvest. Sea shanties speak of storms and rain at sea. Lullabies sometimes mention rain, using its soothing sound as a metaphor for sleep. These songs are rooted in the everyday experience of rain, reflecting its importance in people's lives. Jazz and blues musicians have long sung about rain. Rain can symbolize sorrow, loneliness, or hard times. Stormy Weather is a classic song where rain and clouds represent emotional turmoil. Rainy Night in Georgia evokes a sense of melancholy and nostalgia. At the same time, rain in music can represent hope and renewal. Here Comes the Rain Again by the Eurythmics uses rain as a metaphor for emotional release and connection. In popular music, rain is a versatile symbol. It can set a romantic mood, as in countless love songs, where lovers meet or part in the rain. It can represent cleansing and new beginnings. Singin' in the Rain is an exuberant celebration of finding joy despite bad weather. Purple Rain by Prince uses rain as a complex metaphor, suggesting both sadness and transcendence. Rain's multiple meanings make it a rich source of inspiration for songwriters. Film soundtracks often use rain sounds to create atmosphere. A scene with rain can feel intimate, dramatic, or melancholy, and the sound design enhances these feelings. Sometimes the rain is quiet, a background element. Other times it is loud and insistent, dominating the soundtrack. Filmmakers use rain to guide the audience's emotions, knowing that the sound of rain carries associations built up over a lifetime of experience. Rain sounds are also used in ambient and experimental music. Artists record real rain and incorporate it into compositions. The natural sound of rain becomes an instrument, providing texture and rhythm. Some pieces consist entirely of rain sounds, edited and layered to create immersive soundscapes. These works invite listeners to focus on rain itself, to hear its subtleties and complexities, to experience it as art. The relationship between rain and music goes both ways. Music, inspired by rain, in turn, shapes how we experience rain. When we hear rain, we might think of a favorite song. A melody can come to mind, unbidden, triggered by the sound of droplets. Music and rain intertwine in memory and imagination, each enhancing the other, creating a richer experience of the world. Rain and dreams. Rain appears in dreams with various meanings. Dream interpretation is subjective, and different people and cultures ascribe different significance to symbols. However, some common themes emerge. Rain in dreams often represents emotions, cleansing, or renewal. Just as rain washes the earth, it can symbolize washing away the past, releasing pent-up feelings, or starting fresh. A dream of gentle rain might suggest emotional healing, while a storm could represent turmoil. Dreams of being caught in rain without shelter might reflect feelings of vulnerability or being overwhelmed. Dreams of watching rain from a safe place could suggest a need for introspection or a desire to retreat from the world. Dreams of rain ending and the sun coming out often symbolize hope, resolution, or the passing of a difficult period. The context of the dream and the dreamer's feelings are key to understanding what rain might mean. In some spiritual traditions, rain in dreams is seen as a message or blessing. It might indicate that abundance is coming, that prayers have been heard, or that a period of growth is beginning. Rain can be a positive omen, suggesting that the dreamer is on the right path. Alternatively, excessive rain or flooding in dreams might warn of emotional overwhelm or the need to address issues that have been building up. The sound of rain can also influence dreams. Falling asleep to the sound of rain, the brain continues to process that sound, even in sleep. It might be incorporated into dreams in literal or symbolic ways. A dreamer might dream of rain, or the soothing sound might create a background that makes dreams more peaceful and less disturbed by anxieties. Some people seek out rain sounds specifically to improve the quality of their sleep and dreams. Lucid dreaming, where the dreamer is aware they are dreaming and can exert some control, can be influenced by external stimuli, like rain sounds. The rhythmic, predictable nature of rain can help maintain a light sleep state conducive to lucid dreaming. Some lucid dreamers use rain sounds as a cue, training themselves to recognize the sound and become aware within the dream. Rain, in this way, becomes a bridge between waking and sleeping consciousness. Rain can also trigger nightmares, particularly if associated with traumatic experiences. Someone who has experienced a flood, a storm disaster, or another rain-related trauma might dream of rain in frightening ways. These dreams can be distressing, but they can also be part of the mind's process of working through trauma. Over time, with healing, the emotional charge of these dreams may lessen. Many people find that rainy nights produce more vivid dreams. The reasons for this are not entirely clear. It might be that the sound of rain keeps sleep lighter, making dreams more memorable. It might be that the calm, introspective mood of a rainy night carries into sleep. Or it might simply be that we pay more attention to dreams after a particularly restful sleep, which rain facilitates. Whatever the reason, rain and dreams seem connected in ways that are both mysterious and comforting. The smell of rain. One of the most evocative aspects of rain is its smell, that fresh, earthy scent that arises when rain begins is called petrichor. The word comes from Greek, combining petra, meaning stone, and ichor, the fluid that flows in the veins of gods in Greek mythology. Petrichor is created by a combination of plant oils and a bacterial compound. During dry periods, plants release oils into the soil. When rain falls, these oils are released into the air, along with geosmin, a compound produced by soil bacteria. Geosmin is responsible for much of the earthy smell of rain. Humans are extremely sensitive to geosmin, able to detect it at very low concentrations. This sensitivity might have evolutionary origins. For our ancestors, the smell of rain could signal that water was available, a critical resource for survival. The ability to detect rain from a distance would have been advantageous, helping humans find water sources and plan their movements. The smell of rain varies depending on the environment. In forests, the scent is rich and complex, a mixture of wet earth, decaying leaves, and the resins of trees. In grasslands, the smell is fresher, more green, dominated by the scent of wet grass and soil. In deserts, the smell is intense and almost startling, the dry earth releasing compounds that have accumulated over months or years without rain. Urban areas have their own rain smell, a mix of wet pavement, ozone from lightning, and the various scents of the city washed into the air. Ozone is another component of rain's smell, particularly during thunderstorms. Lightning splits oxygen molecules in the air, which then recombine into ozone. Ozone has a sharp, clean scent, often described as similar to chlorine. This smell can be detected before and during a storm. It adds to the sensory experience of rain, a crisp note that contrasts with the earthier scents of petrichor. The intensity of petrichor is strongest at the beginning of rain, especially after a long, dry period. The first few drops release the accumulated oils and geosmin. As the rain continues, these compounds are washed away, and the smell diminishes. This is why the smell of rain is often most noticeable right at the start, creating a momentary burst of scent that signals the arrival of precipitation. Different cultures have different words and associations for the smell of rain. In some languages, there are specific terms that capture this scent, acknowledging its importance and distinctiveness. The universal human response to the smell of rain suggests that it touches something deep within us, a connection to the natural world and to the life-giving properties of water. It is a smell that almost everyone finds pleasant, a rare consensus in a world of diverse tastes. The smell of rain can trigger memories and emotions. Smell is closely linked to memory in the brain, more so than other senses. The smell of rain might bring back a childhood memory of playing in puddles or a moment of peace sitting on a porch during a storm. It might evoke feelings of calm, comfort, or nostalgia. This powerful connection between smell and memory makes the scent of rain even more meaningful. In perfumery, efforts have been made to capture the smell of rain. Perfumers create fragrances that evoke petrichor, using combinations of natural and synthetic ingredients. These perfumes appeal to people who love the scent of rain and want to carry that feeling with them. While no perfume can perfectly replicate the complex, ever-changing scent of real rain, the attempt itself speaks to how cherished this smell is. Rain also affects other smells in the environment. It clears the air of dust and pollen, temporarily improving air quality. After rain, the air smells cleaner, fresher. Flowers release their scents more strongly when wet. The combination of wet flowers, fresh earth, and clean air creates a sensory experience that many find deeply satisfying. Rain transforms the olfactory landscape, making the world smell new. Rain and human health. Rain affects human health in various ways. On a positive note, rain cleans the air. It washes out pollutants, dust, and allergens, temporarily improving air quality. People with respiratory issues or allergies often feel better after a rain. The air feels lighter, easier to breathe. This cleansing effect is particularly noticeable in cities, where pollution can accumulate during dry periods. Rain provides a natural reset, scrubbing the atmosphere. However, rain can also affect health negatively. In regions with poor sanitation, heavy rain can overwhelm sewage systems, leading to contamination of water supplies. This can cause outbreaks of waterborne diseases like cholera, typhoid, and dysentery. Standing water from rain provides breeding grounds for mosquitoes, which spread diseases such as malaria, dengue fever, and Zika virus. Public health efforts in many regions focus on managing water and controlling mosquitoes to reduce disease risk. Flooding from heavy rain poses direct dangers. People can be caught in floodwaters, which are often deeper and faster moving than they appear. Floodwaters can contain debris, chemicals, and pathogens, making them hazardous to touch or ingest. Floods can damage homes, leading to mold growth, which causes respiratory problems. The psychological impact of flooding can also be significant, with people experiencing stress, anxiety, and trauma. On the mental health side, rain can have mixed effects. Some people find rainy weather calming and cozy, conducive to rest and introspection. The sound of rain, the excuse to stay indoors, the softer light, all contribute to a sense of peace. For these people, rainy days are welcome. Others find persistent rain depressing. The lack of sunlight, the grayness, the feeling of being cooped up indoors can lead to feelings of sadness or lethargy. This is particularly true in climates with long, dark, rainy winters. Seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, is a type of depression related to changes in seasons. It is most common in winter, but in some regions where rain dominates certain seasons, it can be linked to prolonged rainy periods. The reduced sunlight during rainy weather affects the body's internal clock and the production of serotonin and melatonin, neurotransmitters that regulate mood and sleep. Light therapy, exercise, and other treatments can help alleviate symptoms. Rain can also influence physical activity levels. Rainy weather often keeps people indoors, reducing exercise. This decrease in physical activity can affect mood, energy levels, and overall health. On the other hand, some people enjoy exercising in the rain, finding it refreshing and invigorating. Rain running or hiking can be exhilarating, offering a different experience from sunny weather. The key is personal preference and proper preparation. The negative ions generated by rain and moving water are sometimes claimed to have health benefits. Negative ions are molecules with an extra electron, and they are abundant near waterfalls, beaches, and during rain. Some studies suggest that negative ions can improve mood, increase energy, and even boost immune function. However, the evidence is mixed, and the effects, if any, are likely subtle. Still, many people report feeling better near water or after rain, whether due to ions or other factors. Rain affects sleep, generally in positive ways. The sound of rain is soothing and masks other noises that might disturb sleep. The cooler temperatures that often accompany rain can also be conducive to sleep, as the body sleeps best when slightly cool. The rhythmic sound of rain can help regulate breathing and heart rate, promoting relaxation. For many people, a rainy night is the best night for sleep. Cultural attitudes toward rain can also affect health. In cultures where rain is seen as positive and life-giving, people might respond to it more positively. In cultures where rain is seen as dreary or a nuisance, the psychological response might be more negative. This shows that our relationship with rain is not just about the rain itself, but about the meanings we attach to it. Cultivating a positive attitude toward rain, appreciating its benefits and beauty, can enhance well-being. Rain and agriculture. Agriculture is fundamentally dependent on rain. For thousands of years, farmers have relied on rain to water their crops. Even today, a large portion of global agriculture is rain-fed, meaning it depends entirely on precipitation rather than irrigation. The timing, amount, and distribution of rain can determine whether crops thrive or fail. A well-timed rain can save a harvest, while a drought can devastate it. Different crops have different water needs. Rice, for example, requires large amounts of water and is often grown in flooded fields. Corn also needs substantial rainfall during its growing season. Wheat is more drought-tolerant, but still needs adequate rain, especially during critical stages like flowering. Understanding the water needs of crops and matching them to the expected rainfall patterns is a fundamental part of agricultural planning. Farmers have developed various strategies to cope with rainfall variability. Crop diversification is one approach. By growing multiple types of crops, farmers reduce the risk that a single adverse event will ruin their entire livelihood. If one crop fails due to too much or too little rain, others might still succeed. Choosing crop varieties suited to local rainfall patterns is another strategy. Some varieties are bred for drought tolerance, others for wet conditions. Traditional agricultural knowledge includes a wealth of observations about rain and weather. Farmers learn to read the sky, to predict rain from the appearance of clouds, the behavior of animals, or changes in wind and temperature. This knowledge is passed down through generations and is often surprisingly accurate, though not infallible. Modern weather forecasting provides additional tools, but many farmers still rely on their own observations and experience. Irrigation has transformed agriculture, allowing crops to be grown in areas with insufficient rainfall. Irrigation systems range from simple, small-scale methods, like hand watering and bucket systems, to complex networks of canals, pipes, and sprinklers. Drip irrigation, which delivers water directly to plant roots, is highly efficient, minimizing waste. However, irrigation requires a source of water, often rivers or groundwater, which are themselves fed by rain. In many regions, over-extraction of water for irrigation has led to declining water tables and drying rivers. Climate change is altering rainfall patterns in agricultural regions worldwide. Some areas are experiencing increased rainfall, while others are seeing decreases. The timing of rains is shifting, making traditional planting schedules less reliable. Extreme weather events, including both droughts and floods, are becoming more common. Farmers are being forced to adapt, trying new crops, adjusting planting dates, investing in irrigation or drainage, and adopting climate-resilient practices. Rain can also damage crops. Too much rain can waterlog fields, depriving plant roots of oxygen and causing them to rot. Heavy rain can wash away soil, eroding fields and reducing fertility. Rain during harvest can spoil crops, causing mold or germination of grains still in the field. Hail, often accompanying rain in thunderstorms, can shred leaves and batter fruit, rendering crops unmarketable. Managing these risks is a constant challenge for farmers. In regions with distinct wet and dry seasons, agricultural calendars are structured around rainfall. Planting happens at the start of the rainy season, so crops have water during their growth. Harvest occurs before or after the rain's end, depending on the crop. This synchronization with natural rainfall patterns is essential. When rains come early or late, or when they are heavier or lighter than expected, farmers must adapt quickly or face losses. Modern technology is helping farmers manage rainfall variability. Weather forecasts are more accurate and accessible than ever. Farmers can receive alerts about upcoming rain or droughts, allowing them to make informed decisions. Soil moisture sensors help determine when irrigation is needed. Crop models predict how different rainfall scenarios will affect yields. These tools enhance traditional knowledge, helping farmers navigate an increasingly uncertain climate. Rain also affects livestock agriculture. Animals need water to drink, and pastures need rain to grow. In pastoral societies, herders move with the rains, seeking fresh grazing lands. Droughts can devastate livestock, while floods can also pose dangers. Managing livestock in relation to rainfall patterns requires skill and knowledge, balancing the needs of animals with the realities of the environment. Rain in mythology and religion. Rain has always held spiritual significance. Its power to give life or withhold it made rain a focus of religious thought and practice. Many ancient religions featured rain gods or deities associated with storms and fertility. These gods were often among the most important in their pantheons, reflecting rain's central role in human survival. Prayers, sacrifices, and rituals were dedicated to these deities, seeking their favor and their blessing of rain. In ancient Greek religion, Zeus was the sky and weather god, controller of storms and rain. He was the king of the gods, and his power over weather symbolized his ultimate authority. When Zeus was angry, he might withhold rain, causing drought. When pleased, he would send rain to nourish the land. Stories of Zeus and his interactions with humans often involved weather, including rain, as a manifestation of divine will. In Roman religion, Jupiter held a similar role to Zeus. The Romans also had specific agricultural deities associated with rain and fertility. For example, Ceres was the goddess of agriculture, and ensuring her favor was essential for good harvests, which depended on adequate rain. Roman festivals and ceremonies throughout the agricultural year included prayers for rain and thanksgiving for abundant water. In Hinduism, the god Indra is associated with rain, thunderstorms, and the monsoon. Indra is a warrior god who battles drought demons, releasing the rains trapped in the heavens. The arrival of the monsoon in India is still celebrated with festivals that have roots in ancient traditions honoring Indra. The Rig Veda, one of the oldest Hindu scriptures, contains hymns praising Indra and requesting rain. Water and rain are also sacred in broader Hindu practice, seen as purifying and life-giving. In Buddhism, rain appears symbolically in various teachings and stories. The Buddha himself is sometimes called the rain cloud of the Dharma, bringing spiritual nourishment to all beings. Rain in Buddhist texts often represents the universal availability of teachings and compassion, falling equally on all without discrimination. This metaphor highlights rain's impartial generosity, giving to everyone regardless of status or merit. Christianity uses rain as a symbol in the Bible. Rain is both a blessing and, in the story of Noah's Ark, an agent of divine judgment. The flood narrative in Genesis shows rain as immensely powerful, capable of reshaping the world. After the flood, God's covenant with Noah includes the promise that he will never again destroy the earth by flood, symbolized by the rainbow. Rain in Christian thought can represent God's provision, his mercy, and also his power. In Islam, rain is seen as a mercy from Allah. The Quran mentions rain numerous times, describing it as a sign of God's power and generosity. Rain brings life to dead land, a metaphor for spiritual revival. Muslims are encouraged to be grateful for rain and to pray for it during times of drought. There is a specific prayer, Salat al-Istisqa, performed to request rain. The arrival of rain is often seen as an answer to prayer and a manifestation of divine grace. Indigenous religions around the world have diverse beliefs about rain. Many see rain as connected to spirits or ancestors. Offerings might be made to encourage rain, and dances or ceremonies performed. The relationship with rain is often reciprocal. Humans give to the spirits or the land, and in return, the rains come. These traditions reflect a deep understanding of interdependence, the recognition that humans are part of a larger web of life that includes the natural world and the spiritual realm. In African traditional religions, rainmaking is an important practice. Rainmakers, often hereditary positions, are believed to have the power to call forth rain through rituals, prayers, and offerings. The Rain Queen of the Balabedu people in South Africa is one well-known example. These practices continue to hold cultural significance, even in modern times, reflecting the enduring importance of rain in societies where agriculture depends on it. Rain appears in myths and legends as a force of transformation. Stories tell of droughts ending when heroes or gods intervene, bringing rain. Floods, caused by excessive rain, serve as narrative devices for cleansing and renewal, wiping away the old world and allowing a new one to emerge. These stories, found across cultures, use rain as a symbol of change, power, and the cyclical nature of life. Rain and peace. There is something inherently peaceful about rain. It slows the world down. Streets empty, people stay indoors, and the usual bustle quiets. The sound of rain creates an acoustic environment that feels protective, a blanket of white noise that muffles the harsher sounds of daily life. This quietness invites introspection, stillness, and calm. Rain creates a space where it feels natural to pause, to simply be. Many meditation and relaxation practices use rain sounds. Guided meditations often feature rain as background sound, helping practitioners focus and relax. The rhythm of rain aligns well with breathing exercises. Inhale as you imagine the rain falling. Exhale as you imagine it soaking into the earth. This visualization, paired with actual rain sounds, can deepen relaxation and mindfulness. Rain becomes a tool for mental and emotional well-being. In a world that often feels chaotic and overwhelming, rain offers a reprieve. It is a natural phenomenon that we cannot control, and there is something freeing in that. We must simply accept it, adapt to it, and wait for it to pass. This acceptance can be a form of surrender, letting go of the need to control everything and allowing ourselves to be present with what is. Rain teaches patience and acceptance. Rainy days are often days of reduced obligation. Weather provides a socially acceptable reason to cancel plans, to stay home, to rest. In this way, rain gives us permission to take care of ourselves. It creates boundaries, marking time for recuperation and reflection. In cultures that prize busyness and productivity, rain offers a counterbalance, a reminder that rest is necessary and valuable. For some, rain is associated with creativity. The quiet, introspective mood of a rainy day can be conducive to writing, painting, composing music, or other creative pursuits. Many artists and writers have spoken about how rain inspires them. The sound, the sight, the feeling of rain creates a mental space where ideas flow more freely. Rain becomes a muse, a gentle presence that encourages the creative spirit. Rain can also foster connection. People gather indoors, spending time together in ways they might not on a sunny day. Families play games, tell stories, or simply sit together. Friends meet in cafes or homes, enjoying conversation without the pressure to be somewhere else. Rain creates an atmosphere of intimacy, drawing people closer. In this way, rain strengthens bonds and builds community. The universality of rain is comforting. Rain falls on everyone, everywhere. It is a shared experience that connects all humans, regardless of culture, language, or location. When you listen to rain, you are experiencing something that has been experienced by countless others across time and space. This connection to a larger whole can be deeply reassuring, a reminder that we are not alone. Rain and renewal. Rain is a symbol of renewal across cultures and throughout history. It washes the earth, clearing away dust and debris, leaving everything fresh and clean. This physical cleansing has long been associated with spiritual and emotional renewal. Rain represents the possibility of starting over, of washing away the past and beginning anew. This symbolism appears in literature, religion, and personal experience. In nature, rain brings immediate renewal. Dry landscapes transform after rain. Seeds germinate, plants green up, and flowers bloom. Animals emerge from shelter, taking advantage of the moisture and the abundance it brings. Streams refill, and the land drinks deeply. This renewal is visible and tangible, a reminder that rain is fundamentally about life. It sustains and renews the living world, over and over. Psychologically, rain can offer a sense of renewal. A rainy day can feel like a break from routine, a chance to reset. The sound and presence of rain create a different atmosphere that can shift our mood and perspective. After a period of stress or difficulty, rain can feel like a release, an external reflection of internal processes of letting go and moving forward. The end of a rainstorm, when the sun breaks through, often brings a feeling of hope and freshness. In gardening, rain is more beneficial than irrigation. Rainwater is soft, free of chlorine and other chemicals often found in tap water. It carries nitrogen from the atmosphere, providing natural fertilizer. Plants respond more vigorously to rain than to watering from a hose. Gardeners know this and welcome rain, even if it means muddy work afterward. Rain renews the garden, invigorating plants and soil alike. Urban environments are also renewed by rain. Streets are washed clean and the air feels fresher. Colors appear more vivid, perhaps because dust and grime have been rinsed away. The city, often grey and tired, can feel revitalized after a good rain. This transformation, though temporary, is noticeable and appreciated by those who live in cities. Rain offers a moment of beauty and cleanliness in the midst of urban life. The cyclical nature of rain connects renewal to the broader rhythms of nature. Rain comes and goes, part of seasons and weather patterns. This cyclical return is itself renewing, a reminder that change is constant and that difficult periods will pass. The rains will come again, life will continue, and the world will keep turning. This perspective can be comforting, offering hope during hard times. Rain is also associated with new beginnings in human rituals. In some cultures, rain during a wedding is considered good luck, a blessing on the new marriage. Rain during a funeral might be seen as the heavens weeping, but also as a sign of the soul being washed clean and renewed in the afterlife. These interpretations show how deeply rain is woven into our understanding of life transitions. Children experience rain with a sense of wonder and joy that can feel renewing for adults to witness. Watching a child jump in puddles, laugh at the rain, and revel in getting wet reminds us of simpler pleasures. It reconnects us with a sense of playfulness and presence. Rain, seen through a child's eyes, is not an inconvenience but an adventure. This perspective can be renewing, helping us shed cynicism and rediscover joy. The gentle science of falling asleep to rain. Sleep researchers have studied why rain sounds are so effective for sleep. The answer lies in how our brains process sound. The steady, predictable pattern of rain provides what's called acoustic masking. It covers up sudden noises that might wake us or prevent us from falling asleep. Car horns, barking dogs, voices. All are softened or hidden beneath the gentle hiss and patter of rain. This creates a stable sound environment conducive to rest. Rain produces pink noise, which has been shown to improve sleep quality. Pink noise has equal energy per octave, creating a balanced, natural sound. Studies have found that pink noise can deepen sleep, particularly slow-wave sleep, the most restorative phase. People who sleep with pink noise often report feeling more refreshed upon waking. The natural pink noise of rain is especially effective because it is not monotonous. It has subtle variations that keep the brain engaged just enough to relax, but not so much that it stimulates wakefulness. The rhythm of rain is irregular yet patterned, which is ideal for relaxation. If a sound is too regular, like a metronome, it can become annoying or too noticeable. If it is completely random, it can be jarring. Rain strikes a balance. It has a rhythm, but each moment is slightly different. This variability keeps the sound from becoming monotonous while maintaining an overall sense of continuity. The brain can settle into the rhythm without being startled by sudden changes. The volume of rain is also important. Moderate rain provides enough sound to mask other noises, but is not so loud that it becomes intrusive. Heavy rain can be soothing for some, but too stimulating for others. Light rain or drizzle might not provide enough masking. The ideal volume depends on individual preference and the ambient noise level. For most people, a steady, moderate rain is perfect for sleep. Listening to rain can lower stress hormones. The sound activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the body's rest and digest response. Heart rate slows, blood pressure decreases, and muscle tension eases. These physiological changes are the opposite of the stress response. By inducing relaxation, rain sounds help prepare the body for sleep. This is why many people instinctively feel calmer when they hear rain. Rain sounds also help with anxiety. Anxious thoughts often keep people awake, the mind racing from one worry to another. The presence of rain sounds gives the mind something else to focus on. It is soothing and non-demanding, occupying just enough attention to interrupt the cycle of anxious thinking. The mind can rest on the sound of rain, using it as an anchor to stay present, rather than spiraling into worry about the past or future. Many people use recordings of rain sounds to aid sleep, especially in dry climates where actual rain is rare. Apps, websites, and sound machines offer hours of rain sounds. Some allow you to customize the soundscape, choosing between light rain, heavy rain, rain on different surfaces, or rain combined with thunder. These tools make the benefits of rain sounds accessible to anyone, anytime. It is a simple, effective, and natural way to improve sleep. The association between rain and sleep is also psychological. Rain is often associated with being indoors, safe, and sheltered. This sense of security is deeply comforting. When we hear rain, we feel protected from the outside world. Our shelter, whether a house, tent, or any roof over our heads, becomes a cocoon. This feeling of safety is fundamental to relaxation and sleep. We can let our guard down, knowing we are protected. Rain also signals that it is okay to rest. In a culture that often glorifies busyness, rain provides a natural, guilt-free reason to slow down. You cannot be expected to go out in the rain, so staying in and resting is acceptable. This permission to rest, granted by nature itself, can ease the mental tension that sometimes keeps people awake. Rain creates a context in which rest is not just acceptable but necessary. For those who have trouble falling asleep, establishing a rain sound routine can help. Consistency is key in sleep hygiene. By listening to rain sounds every night, the brain begins to associate that sound with sleep. Over time, hearing rain becomes a cue, that signals the body to prepare for rest. This conditioning can make falling asleep easier and faster. Rain becomes part of a bedtime ritual, a comforting presence that guides us into sleep. The meditative quality of rain. Rain invites meditation. Its sound is a natural focus for mindfulness practice. In meditation, the goal is often to quiet the mind, to be present in the moment without judgment or distraction. The sound of rain provides an anchor for attention. You listen to the rain, noticing each drop, the overall pattern, the variations in intensity. When the mind wanders, as it inevitably does, you gently bring it back to the sound of rain. This practice cultivates awareness and calm. Watching rain can also be meditative. Sitting by a window, observing raindrops race down the glass, seeing puddles form and ripples spread, there is something mesmerizing about these simple phenomena. They happen without our intervention, and we can simply watch. This passive observation is restful for the mind. It requires no effort, no decision, no analysis. We can simply be present, witnessing rain in its gentle persistence. Rain encourages a slowing of pace. In our fast-paced world, there are few natural breaks on the constant rush. Rain is one of them. It slows traffic, keeps people indoors, and creates a general sense that today is a day for going slow. This enforced slowing can be a relief. It gives us permission to move at a different pace, to prioritize rest and reflection over productivity and activity. Rain creates space for a slower, more deliberate way of being. The impermanence of rain is a lesson in itself. Rain comes, it falls, it passes. Storms arrive and depart. This impermanence mirrors the Buddhist concept of anicca, the idea that all things are transient. Observing rain, we see this truth in action. Nothing lasts forever. Not the storm, not the sunshine that follows, not our own experiences of joy or sorrow. This understanding can bring peace, helping us hold our experiences more lightly, knowing they will pass. Rain teaches acceptance. We cannot stop rain, control when it falls, or decide how much there will be. We can only respond to it, prepare for it, and accept it when it comes. This acceptance is a core principle in many spiritual traditions. By accepting what we cannot change, we reduce suffering and find peace. Rain, in its inevitability, offers daily practice in acceptance. We adapt our plans, we find shelter, we wait. In doing so, we practice the art of flowing with life rather than resisting it. Gratitude for rain can deepen our appreciation of life. Taking a moment to be thankful for rain, for the water it provides, for the life it sustains, for the sound and smell it brings. This gratitude shifts our perspective. Instead of seeing rain as an inconvenience, we see it as a gift. This shift in perception can extend beyond rain to other aspects of life. Practicing gratitude for rain is practicing gratitude for the natural world and our place within it. Rain connects us to the present moment. It is difficult to think about rain happening in the past or future. Rain is now. The sound is immediate. The sight is present. The feeling of droplets on skin is in this very moment. By bringing our attention to rain, we bring ourselves into the present. This presence is the essence of mindfulness and meditation. Rain becomes a teacher, showing us how to be here, now, fully alive to the experience of this moment. Rain and the night. Nighttime rain has a special quality. The world is dark and quiet, and the rain adds another layer of hushed intimacy. The sound of rain at night feels more pronounced, perhaps because other sounds have diminished. There is no traffic noise, no voices, no daytime bustle, just the rain, falling steadily in the darkness. This creates an atmosphere of profound peace, perfect for sleep. Rain at night feels more private. It is a solitary experience, or one shared only with those closest to you. The rest of the world is asleep or sheltered, and you are alone with the rain. This solitude can be comforting. It is a time for inner reflection, for letting go of the day's concerns, for allowing the mind to drift towards sleep. Night rain wraps you in solitude, but it is a warm solitude, not lonely, but cozy. Listening to rain at night, you might notice sounds you missed during the day. The particular note of rain on leaves, the gurgle of water in gutters, the soft hiss on pavement. These small sounds become clear in the nighttime stillness. Paying attention to them can be a form of meditation, a way to occupy the mind gently and encourage relaxation. Each sound is a thread in the tapestry of night rain, weaving together to create a soothing whole. Night rain on a roof is one of life's simplest pleasures. Lying in bed, warm and dry, listening to the patter above, there is a sense of safety and contentment. The roof protects you, the rain connects you to the natural world beyond. It is a moment of perfect balance, sheltered yet aware, comfortable yet engaged with the elements. Many people count this among their favorite sounds, a guaranteed pathway to peaceful sleep. Rain through an open window brings the scent and coolness of the outside in. The air is fresh, almost electric, with the energy of the storm. The curtains might move in the breeze. You can hear the rain more clearly, feel the slight mist on your face. This connection to the outdoors, while remaining safely inside, is deeply satisfying. It combines the primal appeal of shelter with the sensory richness of nature. Dreams that occur on rainy nights often have a watery quality. People report dreaming of oceans, rivers, or rain itself. The subconscious mind incorporates the sound of rain, weaving it into dream narratives. These dreams can be vivid and emotionally rich, reflecting the deep relaxation and the presence of water sounds in the sleeping environment. Rain enters not just our waking consciousness, but our dreaming mind as well. Waking briefly in the night to the sound of rain can be a peaceful experience. Instead of feeling jarred awake, you hear the rain and are reassured. All is well. The rain continues its gentle fall, and you can sink back into sleep, comforted by the sound. These brief wakings, when surrounded by rain sounds, are not disruptive, but become part of the restorative cycle of sleep. Night rain connects us to the countless others who have lain awake or asleep listening to the same sound throughout history. It is a timeless experience. People thousands of years ago heard the same patter, felt the same comfort. This continuity across time is humbling and comforting. We are part of a long human tradition of seeking shelter and finding peace in the sound of rain on a dark night. The end of rain. Every rainstorm ends. The clouds disperse, the drops cease, and the world is left glistening and fresh. The end of rain is a moment of transition, often marked by a sense of renewal. The air smells clean, colors seem brighter, the earth has been washed, and everything feels new. This ending is not a loss, but a completion, the natural close of a cycle that will begin again. After rain, the world is quiet in a different way. The rain itself was a kind of white noise, covering other sounds. When it stops, there is a moment of silence, a pause before the usual sounds return. Birds begin to sing. Insects resume their activities. Human life picks up again, but for a moment, there is stillness, the world taking a breath after the rain has passed. Puddles left by rain are temporary mirrors, reflecting the sky and surroundings. They create small pockets of beauty, turning ordinary streets and sidewalks into landscapes dotted with sky blue or cloud grey pools. Children love puddles, and there is wisdom in that joy. Puddles are playful, ephemeral, inviting interaction. They remind us that rain leaves traces, small gifts that will evaporate in time but offer pleasure while they last. Rainbows, when they appear after rain, feel like nature's exclamation point on a storm. They are celebrations of the end of rain, arcs of color that declare the return of sun. Seeing a rainbow can lift the spirit, a reminder that beauty follows storms. Rainbows have always been seen as symbols of hope, bridges between sky and earth, signs of promise. Their appearance at the end of rain makes them even more meaningful. The end of rain also means the return of sunshine, warmth, and dryness. For some, this is a relief. They are ready for the rain to stop, eager to go outside and resume activities. For others, there is a small pang of regret. The cozy, introspective atmosphere of rain is passing. The world is returning to its usual pace. Both responses are natural. Rain and its absence, both have their place, their time, their purpose. Rain will return. That is the promise of the water cycle, the assurance of nature's rhythms. Rain is not a one-time event, but an endless cycle. It will rain again tomorrow, next week, next season. This certainty is comforting. No matter how dry the world becomes, rain will come back. Life will continue. The cycle turns, and we turn with it, carried by the rhythms of rain and sun, wet and dry, storm and calm. A closing meditation on rain. And so, dear listener, we come to the end of our journey through the world of rain. From the birth of a single droplet high in the atmosphere, to the thunder of storms, to the quiet patter on a window at night. We have explored rain in all its forms, all its meanings, all the ways it touches our lives. Rain is ordinary and extraordinary, simple and profound, constant and ever-changing. As you lie here now, let yourself imagine rain. Picture it falling gently, steadily, endlessly. Each drop a tiny miracle, part of a cycle as old as the earth itself. Feel the comfort of shelter as rain falls outside. Hear the soothing rhythm, the hiss and patter that has lulled countless souls to sleep before you. Smell the fresh, earthy scent that rises when rain meets the ground. Let rain wash over your thoughts, carrying away the tensions of the day. Let it rinse away worry, stress, and all the small burdens you carry. Imagine those burdens dissolving in the rain, flowing away, leaving you light and clean. You are safe, sheltered, at rest. The rain continues its gentle work, patient and persistent, asking nothing of you but to receive its gift. Breathe deeply, slowly. Inhale the cool, moist air. Exhale and release. With each breath, sink deeper into relaxation. The sound of rain surrounds you, a cocoon of gentle noise that protects and soothes. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be. Only this moment, this breath, this sound of rain falling softly in the night. Feel your body relaxing, muscle by muscle. Your forehead is smooth, your jaw loose, your shoulders soft, your arms are heavy, your legs at rest. You are melting into the bed, warm and comfortable, held and supported. The rain falls, and you let go. Let go of thought, of effort, of wakefulness. Drift like a leaf on water, carried gently by the current toward sleep. In your mind's eye, see the rain continuing to fall. It will fall through the night, a steady companion while you sleep. It will be there if you wake, a reassuring presence in the darkness. And in the morning, whether the rain has stopped or continues, you will wake refreshed, renewed, ready for a new day. But that is far away. For now, there is only this, the quiet night, the gentle rain, and the soft descent into sleep. Rain has been our guide tonight, showing us its many faces, sharing its secrets. It has connected us to the earth, to the sky, to the endless cycle of water that makes life possible. It has reminded us of our place in the natural world, small and humble yet part of something vast and beautiful. Rain is patient, rain is generous, rain is life. Let the rain carry you now into dreams. Let its rhythm be the heartbeat that rocks you to sleep. Trust in the rain, trust in the darkness, trust in the deep rest that awaits you. All is well. The rain falls, the world turns, and you, safe and warm, are drifting away into peaceful, restorative sleep. If your eyes are still open, let them close now. If your mind is still active, let it quiet. The rain is here, and the rain is enough. It asks nothing, it simply is. And in its presence, you too can simply be. No effort, no striving, only surrender to the gentle embrace of rain and night and sleep. Good night. Let the rain sing you to sleep. Let it wash away the day and prepare you for tomorrow. Rest now, deeply and completely, held by the sound of falling rain. Sleep well, dear listener. Sleep well.